don't want to get too many people on here because it'll just be like, too many windows, everybody talking over each other. Oh, you are live.
Yeah,
I like yes. Now hopefully we'll see how. Why is there music playing? Oh, it's my other search engine.
It's like a badge of honor.
That's funny. It went to an ad automatically. Oh, you are live. All right. I'm gonna.
Okay, I hear the delay.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn this volume down. That's funny. I always crack up when this thing starts off. Okay, come on. You can. That's funny.
You can do it.
What a great way to start off a video. Wait a minute. Here we go. We turn that volume down on that one. In other words, that's Safari. Now I've got Google going. So I basically turned that volume down. All right.
Multitasking.
I was sitting there like, what it reminded me of? One of those ads. You're on the internet, right? You're doing you're searching whatever it is, and all of a sudden you hear music. Like, what the hell is that? Oh, it's the damn ad played in the little far right corner, and you're trying to figure out how to shut it up. Oh. Okay. So, as you can see, there are so many people right now that are right here with this right now. Nope. We do have an individual with us right now, Haddonfield Slasher. Let's go. I'm drinking happy Father's Day tomorrow. Yeah, well, Haddonfield, I got a tasty beverage right here at the bar, and I've got an individual that is going to be with us here. I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to allow this gentleman to introduce himself.
Oh, I'm no good at that. Hi, everybody.
Well, the reason why I'm trying to shut up is so you will come on the screen. Oh, there we go.
Oh, I can't see none of that. I don't know what's happening.
I got to stop watching that. Except what I'm trying to do is like watch YouTube, watch Zoom, and watch the chat room. So there you are. Okay. That, and I got to remind myself we're on a 20-second delay. So yeah, we've got Mr. CW, otherwise known as Chris Webb, with us today. This is the gentleman that won the mask back during when seemed like, God, months ago already, during that wonderful, what was it now? 1683. Nope. Next.
Oh, yeah.
God, what a night.
That was good times.
Right now, Chris, as I could see it, I don't know if you could see the live chats or not, but we've got Haddonfield Slasher, which he has been, supporting this channel just about as long as you. So is Oscar. He's okay. Awesome. Oh, yeah. He's noticing your masks, Chris. Matthew, let's see, with the custom logo t-shirt. Oh, yeah. I forgot about this. This was actually, I designed this. 2020 kind of messes me up. I designed this about 3-4 years ago, something like that. So yeah, I'm actually pretty proud of this logo. So yeah, you guys, the more I shut up, I hope you guys will see more of Chris's collection in the background. He's got a phenomenal collection, and he's actually going to do the unboxing of that mask that he won. So hopefully it didn't, go to dust inside the box now. So he's been patiently waiting to do an unboxing. Yeah, with this heat, that's for sure. So I figure
rather patient about it. I haven't touched it at all.
So since we're all just basically hanging out tonight, I mean, Chris, of course, everyone else here, that's what it is. It's just a hangout. Like, I think I pretty much made that clear 3 weeks ago. It's a Father's Day hangout. So, of course, naturally, if you are a dad out there, I know I am. Chris is definitely a dad. And I'm right now with what we see, a couple on there, Haddonfield Slasher, Matthew. Sorry, I can't pronounce. I'm not going to butcher your last name because I'm terrible at last names. So Matthew K. If you guys are dads out there, or even if you got a pet, you're still considered a dad. So cheers to all of you out there.
Happy Father's Day, everyone.
That's right. Or in other words, happy Mother's Day out there to the mothers. We got to get the pronouns in, right?
Oh no, that's a slippery slope right there.
Ah, yeah, I think Haddonfield, Slasher, and Matthew K. They're drinking right now. They're ahead of us.
Very nice.
Let's see. Let's have a shot. No daddy here yet, but you know what, Haddonfield, take your time. Believe me, there is no rush of being a dad. But then don't wait too late. But again, I think that's a mom thing. I don't know. Oh, every once in a while I'll be chewing on my nuts, so pardon me.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
That's right. So, as we're all just casually hanging out here so far, I'll start with Chris, and this question pertains to all of you. Have you guys had a cool week? Physically a cool week? I know I haven't.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Real bad. Real bad. Horrible. Gatorades and water. That's about all I can say.
You work outside in that heat quite a bit, though, don't you?
Yes, I do. It was it's pretty
I like
miserable, and it's honestly it's a lot of health concerns for a lot of people out there.
Yeah, that ain't good. That ain't good. Haddonfield, he's a dog dad. Well, that's good enough. So, what about you guys, Matthew and Haddonfield? Where Chris and I generally live we live in the Midwest, so it's been, I guess, from what I've seen or witnessed, I don't know. It's been like a heat wave from all the way down south. Yeah, in Ohio, and here in Ohio, it's been pretty hot, but we're getting a break this weekend. I mean, right now it's 75 degrees. It's like really probably what, 20 degrees, almost 30, 25 degrees cooler now than it was a couple of days ago.
Beautiful outside right now.
Yeah, so I got that patio door open, hoping it gets cool tonight. Yeah. Ooh, Haddonfield Slasher. Check this out, Chris. He's a roofer. So yeah, he knows all about that heat.
My God, I work with you guys all the time. I know all about you, buddy.
Matthew K. Let's see. Nah, he just asked, let's see. He just asked if I was in Ohio, Massachusetts. So Haddonfield, has it been hot out there? Out there in New England? I bet it has been. I mean, it gets hot everywhere this time of year. But I mean, this summer so far. I mean, it's not even technically summer yet. That's what, next week, I believe.
Don't say that. Oh,
Hey,
no.
I know.
Just wish we had a bigger in-between period, you know? It's like straight from cold, straight to brutally hot. I wish there was like a little break, you know?
Yeah. Well, I know where that break is. I'll be honest. I've been there. Oh, probably about a dozen times, and that's Southern California.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, their weather for me is perfect, but teach its own. I just, yeah. I mean, it gets hot there, but it seems like it gets worse here. I don't know.
My
Got a
bad.
bug?
Coming to the light.
Haddonfield Slasher, yes, sir. Yeah, it's only so far the four of us. Yeah, you know what? They're probably out in the pool right now, or they're like my neighbors. They got the grill going. But we don't need a lot of people here. I mean, why do we need a lot of people here? I told them 3 weeks ago. It's okay. I look at it this way, more nuts to me.
Would Haddonfield or anybody be interested in talking as well?
Yeah, if you guys want to join this this Zoom, you're more welcome to. Just let me know, because I could send you a link. How would I do that? Well, you could either contact me, like I've stated before, like my email, I could send you a link there. Or if you have Instagram, I'm pretty sure I could send you a link through Instagram. I've never done it that way, but we could figure this all out together. And no, I better just do it individually, because I don't just want to put it down there and then all of a sudden some person, some troll comes on here and then just like, hi. We don't want any trolls on here. Then we just boot them out real quick, though. Or that we could just make fun of them. What just popped up on? There we go. I just somehow hit my notes pad. Yeah, I don't want that right now. Let's see. Hey, Chris, can you see the live chat going on there on YouTube?
I got a weird setup going right now. It's on my phone, and my phone's down there charging.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm trying to hang on. Maybe I can do this.
See, I'm on the porch,
Better.
beach house drinking with you. Oh, wow. Haddonfield's on the porch on the beach house.
Wow.
Wow, with the wife. Cheers. Well, wow. Okay. I think we just are envying Haddonfield Slasher right there.
You got it. You got the whole setup.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, I shouldn't be complaining right now. I mean, the sad thing of it is before I started all this, I got back here and I'm like, holy crap, this I need to dust this thing.
How old is that Cabo Wabo by now?
This one right here,
Yeah.
this is actually, I'll be very careful. This is actually the original bottle. Well, not the, but when Sammy started Cabo Wabo, this was the very first lineup of bottles. So I got this back in 2000. So it's over 20 years old.
Wow.
22 years old to be exact. I've never opened it and I never will.
I was gonna ask.
Nope, never opened it. I mean, I've got other bottles of Cabo over here, that I've obviously opened. Here's his other line of tequila. I don't end up dropping all this stuff. I can just see it right now. Oh, anything to get those views, right? But here's that other. I don't know if he's been advertising it.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, it's with that that guy Fry, whatever. Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty smooth. He has, obviously different ones though. But yeah, it's another. Oh dear, this thing is dusty.
Super cool.
And then of course there's Sammy's rum. I've never opened that yet. The beach rum, Sammy's Beach Bar rum.
The Hallow wine. You see that back there?
Yeah, I got that from Nick Malpagano. I actually have two of them. Battery, well, you can't see it because it's kind of a pain, but it's a white one. It's bigger. It's over here. And I've actually had that one over here most of the time. I don't know, maybe my camera's over there and the hell with it. Oh God, I've actually been going to the gym more lately and my forearms are sore. But yeah, that's the one that probably everybody's recognized the most.
Yeah, very
The
cool.
batteries are dead. So yeah, Nick, he made these. It's pretty cool. I ordered, what was it? One particular mask, I think. And then he sent me another one as a gift. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Nick is a very, very nice guy. He's a very cool guy.
Okay, let's see. Try to catch up with this. See, Haddonfield Slasher, Chris in Indiana. Is that a question? Or is that where, wait a minute, no. You said you're in Massachusetts. So who's asking you, Chris, if you're in Indiana?
I'm in Ohio.
Okay.
I do work in Indy quite a bit, though. Work hard, play hard is definitely the motto.
I used to be play hard and barely work. That was what I was like 19, 20, 21, up to I was about 25. Zach came along and was like, oh shit. He's inviting us. Do you guys want to, do either one of you want to hop on here? Because this right now, it's just the four of us. I mean, you guys are more welcome to join us here on the Zoom.
That'd be fun.
if you'd rather do the chat, that's fine with us too. Because right now, I think Chris and I are just feeling kind of left out.
I wish I was. Where's he at the poolside?
Let's see. I think. Oh, he's on the porch right now. Yeah, at the beach house drinking with his wife. I don't think I blame him for wanting to get online right now, but we can always pick on Matthew if he's still here. But then again, yeah, you know what? I think I need another cold one.
Refresh it.
Too bad I can't get that door on my beer fridge over here. Or I need to get an app that opens up that door and moves it over here. I'll be back. That accidentally tastes good.
Haddonfield, yeah. Definitely enjoy my guns.
I'm gonna get
It is a Magpul hat.
I gotta charge up that little refrigerator. It's cold. I'm surprised we don't have more people here right now. They could be enjoying the weather too if it's been hot where they live.
Weather, Father's Day. There's probably lots of people got plans, cookout plans. That's what I plan to do tomorrow.
You know what? I'm gonna get one more thing to prepare for what's in the fridge. I'm putting all the pressure on you, Chris, to entertain everyone there. I should have thought of this earlier. One moment, please.
Oh, very nice. SIGs are nice weapons, man.
Hey, Chris, I got an idea. While I'm over here trying to get ice, I'm gonna pretend I'm in the chat room right now. Those
I
masks.
can't hear you that well, Scott.
Could you kind of name them off of which ones they are? You know, kind of like as if you were looking at them left to right. You know what I mean? I'm sure the guys that are there right now, they'd be kind of curious to know too.
Let me turn up your volume a little bit.
Oh, well, I heard something.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid the whole echo situation, so I had you down real low on your volume.
Oh, was I echoing?
I'm just worried it will. I don't know. My mic's kind of close to my speaker.
I don't hear you echoing at all.
Okay, great.
Zoom must have something set up pretty nice there. Let's see here. Adfield, same here. I got my. Oh God. Trying to read this. I got my smaller computer here. This is a SIG saucer. What does this say? P365 a pistol with a red 12. Okay, you're talking about your gun. Okay, see, I'm not very good with guns, so I'm terrible at that stuff. Knowing names, terrible at it.
Yeah, him and the wife got it. His wife's got a Smith & Wesson.
The only guns I know is the ones on Star Wars, lasers guns.
By the way, have you been keeping up on it?
Yes, sir, I have.
I am still only 2 episodes into it. I got to catch up.
I do. Yeah.
I know. I'm trying to do the thing where I avoid social media because it ruins it for everything, you know?
Yeah.
I've already saw some things that I didn't want to see, you know?
I haven't been on social media. I mean, I watch YouTube. That's about it. I've been like you, been busy, and I don't know. I just haven't been on social media. That, and I've been really focusing on trying to go to the gym because I can't get past that wall. I'm a quitter. You know, I'll go to the gym and then I'll quit and then I won't go for months. And then you know, I keep on beating myself up later, like, oh, you fat ass, blah, blah, blah. So I've been more focused on that, like shutting everything else out and just going to the gym. And I lost 9 pounds in 3 weeks. I feel like I gained 2 of them back though the past 2 days, but
Hey, good for
cheers.
you. I live behind that wall. I haven't worked out in like 10 years probably. I just can't do it.
I've been walking like 2 miles a day on the treadmill. And then this, whatever the hell it is, where you curl your arms right here, it's so sore. So it's like, why can't I get that soreness around the free willy section?
It'll come.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
definitely a lot easier when I was younger, that's for sure. Okay.
Say that again.
All right. Now that I'm here, I had to get my partner in crime. For years I've had this where I look like a major you're drunk. I always got to have my. This is a shout out to all my Irish fathers out there. So my James, I don't know. I've got
I'm quarter.
my Jameson whiskey ordeal. Okay. Now I got to ask. In Haddonfield, I think Haddonfield, it's just the three of us. And yeah, he's. Oh, what's Chris drinking, by the way?
Oh my God, what is this? Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to get Chris to tell us what his collection is right there.
Rhinegeist.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've not had this, but I see them like crazy.
Down in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate it, but man, I love it.
I have
My
not
wife calls it skunk beer.
skunk beer. Yeah.
It'll hit you pretty hard, but man, it's pretty good.
Haddonfield Slasher. What's in the box, Chris?
What's in the box?
That thing's probably never mind. It became a true tots all of a sudden again.
Should I? Oh, now it's got. Nope, don't want to do that.
Well, yeah. You gotta be careful with the address stuff, right? You know what? We've waited long enough. Chris, whatever you want to do, you can tell us what's behind you or what's in the box. Did I say boss?
Yeah, but I mean, I know what you mean.
Haddonfield Slasher 7.
One of the greatest movies ever.
I haven't watched that movie in a long time.
Well, I was thinking it'd be kind of cool because I can't really say that I've seen too many where it's like they're from the artist to the consumer, I guess is the best word, the collector, where they actually open up the video or not open up the video, open up the box on the video and, you know, do a kind of reaction video, like that type of situation. So I kind of saved the KC 4300.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
And I was thinking maybe everybody would like to see it open at the same time.
You've had that now for, oh God, about a month now.
I was trying to think. What date was that?
Well, I remember when I was doing Obi-Wan and I was trying to think about this live stream, this hangout.
It was Memorial Day, right?
I just remember trying to think of a weekend that I didn't have Zach. That way I didn't have to worry about doing this. And so that was 4 weeks ago for Obi-Wan. Or no, 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I guess it was.
27th, 28th?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
Can't remember either. It's been a while. Staring at me in the face.
Well,
It's even got its spot over here.
You might want to change your mind and put that on the bottom.
No, it's going right there.
Okay. Excuse me. I forgot. I shouldn't have chosen to eat these.
I mean, we got 5 in here. What do you? I mean, should we just go ahead, open it?
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, this is the irony. I'm doing a Zoom live meeting or chat where I've invited everyone to come along for the first time, and we've got just 3. I'm just seeing 3 right now.
Oh, really?
It's okay. It is a Saturday night. It's not a big deal. And I'm not on here consistently to keep that algorithm busy enough. So it's technically my fault.
A lot of people.
Oh man, bad mistake. I forgot. Every time I eat peanuts, I always get a little bit stuck in the back of my throat. All right. I'll let you do your thing with that box there.
Yeah, I can't really. I mean, it's been long enough, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know that, because doesn't it switch back and forth? The video?
As long as it's
I have to be talking while I'm doing it. Is that right?
yeah, I'll try to be extra quiet with this coughing. Good luck.
I'm not good at filibuster like you are when you open.
It's all those A&E episodes. So
Oh boy.
hey, it does look better in the box.
I mean, I'm just thankful it's in one piece.
Now, my concept, I wanted to try to do something with those eyes. I didn't want to try to do what everybody else. I was trying to figure out how to do a Nick Castle. Because I was going with this black and white image, but then it looked too round. So I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. And I was happy with them.
I mean,
I was experimenting, and at least the experiment didn't mess up the mask.
it's really, really well done.
Well, I'm hoping to get better at these too. I mean, I'm not trying to beat myself up. That is a tots. Right now, at least it's doing exactly what it did for me with the bright light hitting it. And I'm sure for you, it looks better in person because it's not as bright right now.
It does. Maybe I can hold it back a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it's got a cool effect to it. As long as you enjoy it, that's all that matters. And the good thing about it is too, and I'm not trying to beat myself up. You obviously have an amazing collection right there behind you where you've spent quite a bit on those bad boys. And let's say you want to do cosplay at home and that mask fits you well. Look at it this way. Even let's say you paid for it. The reality of it is you didn't spend much on it. You know what I mean? So you'd be better off wearing that, you know, with your kids than instead of tearing up one of your really expensive ones, you know?
I kind of came to that realization when I started getting really into buying, and I started buying double copies.
Haddonfield Slasher, who made that? Well, technically, it started off in Mexico and then it worked its way up here. And then I just kind of actually, that particular Kirk right there was completely stripped. I mean, the paint, it's these tots are amazing. Sometimes the hair comes off so easily. And then there's other times it's really difficult for the hair to come off. And then there's times where it's almost impossible to get that original paint off. That started peeling off so easily. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and strip this thing to the bone and put a little bit elbow grease around the eyes and the nose. And voila, there it was. I basically, it was a Tots Kirk with just the latex. And then, like I said, I wanted to experiment with the eyes. Because if you always pay attention, Haddonfield Slasher, if you remember, unless you're just teasing or having a good time enjoying yourself out there on the beach house, which good for you. Cheers. That's that KC 4300 that I rehauled. And I was, like I said, I was trying to experiment with the eye cutouts a little bit, try to make them a little bit bigger. Cause I know, even though I the one thing I screw up on, see, I try my best not to wear them, but the difficult thing of it is it's hard not to test the eye cutouts unless you put it on. So I'm like, you know what? Some of the images that I've seen with Nick Castle, the eye cutouts actually look kind of big on him. So I'm like, this is an experiment. I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. And in all honesty, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, if you get the perfect eye cutout, they're probably a little bit smaller, but you know, sometimes you got to try, you know, when you're trying something new. If you enjoy cooking, you want to try some new mixes and recipes. And the good news thing is I didn't screw it up. It just doesn't have that same, like, I don't know, the same.
Too hard on yourself. This looks phenomenal.
For Tots, I was pretty proud of that one, and I'm enjoying working on those Kirks more and more. Okay, let's see. Wait.
It looks awesome. I love it.
Let's say Haddonfield. He says, wait a minute, is Eric the guy who won the Myers giveaway? No, that was C Webb. In other words, this gentleman right here, Chris, he won the mask. Eric, I don't. Well, I shouldn't say I don't know any Erics. Technically, I do. I don't go around saying this, but Eric is technically my first name, so I guess I do know at least one Eric.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Eric.
Yeah, I never go by my
Remember
first
that
name.
popping up?
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't know. I was pretty drunk that night and I was just messing around. It was honestly a super cool experience. I mean, it was
That story that you have alone. That is hysterical.
it was long, but man, I had fun every minute of it though. I was, I'm grateful that you did it. It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
The community.
I'm hoping to do more of these. I really am. I mean, what my future plans are, I'm really hoping I could do it with those. But right now I've had to kind of put things on hold for a little bit for my future plans because expenses. But right now, here in hopefully about 2 months, I can start focusing on my future plans. See, it does have that H. I was trying to get that H1 look to it. So, but the way I look at them, they all look different.
It's got blue light right now.
Yeah, it does.
Side here.
I can't wait to start working on my own, polls. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because every time I look at my own collection or anybody else's and I see how brilliant those, some really good independent ones, I'm like, God, I can't wait to start working on them. Because I look.
When you say that, I think to myself, like, God, I really love to, redo a mask. Just all those steps that you've already taken.
I'll tell you what, to me, the one benefit of a TOTS, I say TOTS is like learning how to drive a manual transmission. Learn how to work with those. And if you get it down, then by the time you start working on some really good, poles, some really good latex Meyer masks, those things are going to be so easy to do. I mean, to be honest, that 78 that TOTS has,
yep,
that's actually because it has so much character in it, the scope compared to the Kirk. When you first start working on them, you could tell, it's like, God, these will be, my imagination goes wild if I had a decent one.
I mean, some of the one Nick's worked on, I mean, wow, they're like night and day.
Yeah.
Hold of it, he turns it into something crazy.
Oh yeah.
I should have said his last name.
Haddonfield Slasher. Right. Well, thanks for Elise joining. I mean, we appreciate you being here. At least he's got to get going. So yeah, Chris, it looks like it's just you and I.
Oh no.
Well, look at it this way. It's still open if anybody wants to join. And if no one wants to join, well, it's too bad for them.
And I'm just so glad that spot's filled now.
Is it too embarrassing looking compared to the others?
Oh, look at it. Goes right at home. I wish I could get this camera off.
No, the funny, if you were standing here, if we were trading spots, it's actually, I'm telling you, Chris, if you did more unboxings or if you just did videos from there, people would be so like, they would, because you know how it is. Every time you watch someone on YouTube, it's the background.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's face it. When I started doing the videos here, the bar got attention bigger than shit, because of the background. I mean, it's a fucking bar.
Right.
Your background, obviously you take your background with other Halloween fans, they're going to be constantly looking everywhere in your room.
I wish I had more time.
Yeah, I know.
I was less lazy.
That you've got a perfect situation. You got a life to live. And whenever you feel like doing a video, boom, just you. In other words, I wouldn't go out and invest another dime in another camera and another microphone. You're good to go right there. Because from just looking at this right now, from the Zoom angle, it's fine, you know. And not to mention, you don't have time to worry about investing in good stuff because that would be a waste of money.
Should just. What do you need that for? That's exactly what she told me. You don't even use it as it is.
No, I'm serious. It's now there's a possibility that when this uploads on YouTube, when you can watch anytime you want, it may not look perfectly clear. Then again, I could be wrong. But the reality, it's just because we're using kind of a live stream right now. But according to what I've seen, it's had an excellent connection.
That's good
on this the whole time. But if we were doing this 3 days ago, no, because they were doing something around here with MetroNet where I couldn't even pull up a movie because it was Wednesday because I got home and I wanted to watch episode 5 from Obi-Wan. So yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh damn, I've never had anything.
I think they were doing something around here. So yeah, you've got to episode 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next episode, you're going to start seeing. Yeah.
I know.
Next week will be episode 6, which will obviously be it for a while. My gut tells me that the next thing we see on Disney will be season 3 of Mandalorian. Just because you know how they do it, the timing and all that. But I'm not gonna say anything else. I'll just say the next thing we probably see on Disney is probably Mandalorian 3, because I don't want to tell you what my assumption would be. Because if I say too much now, then that'll give you, somewhat of in other words, I'm really proud that I haven't watched anything or read anything or any news or any, clickbaiting when it comes to Halloween Ends. I know it exists. In fact, when I logged on to this channel to set it up to obviously for this live stream, well, really this Zoom, meeting between you and I, I already seen an update on Halloween Ends. I'm like, I don't even want to know. To each its own, right? And if you want to know, that's fine, but I don't want to know.
They seem really, really small if they are updates, and it seems like it's so dry out there that they're really jumping on top of every little detail, even speculation stuff. I don't even want to know that.
I don't blame if it was just you and I, and there was the rest of the world out there was just dying to know Halloween Ends. I'm fine with that. Just don't let me know. I'll find out October 14th. Because that's my plan. I don't want to see one. Now I'm hoping, and I'm pretty sure it won't be an issue. Next month I want to go see Thor in the theaters.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be a Halloween trailer. Halloween Ends. No, it wouldn't make sense. So that ought to tell you how much I know if there's a trailer available or not already.
I was thinking it'd be attached to Black Phone.
Glad you brought that up.
The whole Blumhouse thing, how they like to sneak them in there, which I do want to see, but now I'm kind of like, well, hell, maybe I should not go. So I don't want to see that trailer. Maybe I'll just come in right after.
Well, we all know how the movies are. Let's say it starts at 7:15. There's going to be 25 minutes of trailers.
Yep.
Now, granted, I forget what it was. I remember going to the theater and I missed practically all the trailers. And as soon as I sat my ass down, there was the trailer that I didn't want to see. And I was like, I remember saying really clearly and loud, son of a. The guy next to me started laughing because he got it. But the Black Phone, I want to see, and I don't care how they do the ad, how they say Rotten Tomatoes 100%.
Yeah.
I don't care. My thing is right now, and I try to remind myself, I'm seeing these from YouTube or Hulu because I watched that Sex Pistols thing last night. That was pretty good on Hulu. Kind of like the story of the Sex Pistols.
Okay.
And yeah, that was really good actually. So I try to remind myself, okay, the ads that they put on there, they're like the same 10 ads, I guess. And the one ad was the black phone. So I can't justify, because for me, when you're watching regular television, if you see an ad for a movie constantly, that's a bad sign right there. That's saying, well, we got to get the asses in the seat for them to see this movie because tickets aren't selling well.
Sure.
So I really don't know how the black phone, how it really is. I mean, of course, what's his name? He's playing. It's obvious we know who the guy is underneath the mask, the actor. Yeah, I mean, he obviously has a good background, with his portfolio of movies.
I like him in most things.
My favorite one of him, ironically, was probably Alive, if I'm titling it right. The one with the true story about where the plane crashes. The football players, technically, I guess soccer players. So, I think it was called Alive. Where they were, yeah. Am I giving the right name for that?
I don't know if I've seen that.
Oh yeah, it's really good. It was out in the 90s. If I remember, if I'm giving the right title, it's based on a true story where you have a team of, I'm pretty sure, football, soccer. They're all on this plane, and I think I could be butchering this. I want to make clear for everybody that's going to watch this amazing video later. But
was this the one where they were like in the mountains or
yes.
Okay.
I think it was down in South America somewhere. I don't know. I could be wrong. It's been a long time, but yeah, it was all about, not about, but of course, the big ordeal about cannibalism because they had to survive off of, other people that died. They had to survive off to basically eating their ass meat. But yeah, he was in that. So
okay. For me, Training Day every time.
Yes, I mean that movie was phenomenal. Period.
Oh, that was so good.
That's another one that's in my collection.
I mean, Gattaca was good.
Yeah,
he's had
of course. Now there's a bunch of them, sequels, of course, where he was in the first one. Ooh, that helped. Oh, where they have it'll come to me. I can't think of the name of the damn movie right now.
Purge.
Yes, thank you.
As soon as you said they've had many of them.
Yeah. That narrows it down to, let's see. Like I noticed, I think it's HBO Max right now, because every once in a while I'll check, the movies that they just added, and it could be a mixture of movies that just came out or movies that's been around forever. And I think they just added this series of all the Jaws movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's so funny. I look over to the chat room right now and there's like nobody there. It's almost like I want to tap my laptop and go, hello.
Really?
Yeah, there's no one there.
Saying 5.
If there's 5 people here, they're just not communicating. I'm actually seeing I see 13 views right now. Oh, this, you know what?
Maybe it's 5 over. I don't know how it works.
Maybe 5. But the thing is, when I look at the chat room, there's been a total of 2 people, Matthew and Haddonfield Slasher. Man, I suck. I finally get a guest on here and I can't get anybody.
Well, this is just a hangout anyways.
Yeah. The funny thing of it is, it's not that it's been a riled. Man, I've had 2 beers and just one thing of this. So that just gets to my point.
Loud mouse.
I've had people like, you need to have like this at your bar. Here I am. Where's everybody at?
Right.
hey, I just look at it this way, more for me. So,
See, they'll all watch this on YouTube later, and then they'll be like, "Damn it,
this was the best video ever. We missed out. It was like better than Back to the Future Part 5.
oh gosh."
Or of course, as we all know, there's Jackass 1, Jackass 1.5. Yeah. I guess it's funny how they had Jackass Forever that was available, I want to say on Paramount Plus or whatever. And now Jackass 4.5 or whatever the hell it's called. That was available on Netflix. So it's hard to keep up with these streaming services.
I have no idea. I haven't seen one of those since number 2.
Jackass 4 was like, they haven't done one in 10 years. And Johnny Knoxville is finally deciding, well, I better back off a little bit. In other words, all the guys that's been a part of this have done some crazy shit. There's no doubt about it. Johnny Knoxville, when you watch all of them, even they sometimes go, oh, how the hell is he's barely, in other words, he basically had they didn't even show it on MTV when it originated, where Johnny Knoxville volunteered to get shot. Obviously he had a bulletproof vest on, but he volunteered to get shot.
Good idea.
Yeah. And then there's this thing about those damn bowls, live bowls, and Johnny just stood there and laughed while those things would come after him and shit. And everybody else, they're like, fuck that. I'm not gonna have anything to do with these bowls. Well, this last one that he did, and he's getting older as we all, hell, he's older than me. And
that's what I'm saying. How is he recovering from these things?
He's got some
problems,
war wounds. Let's put it this way. He's had some serious concussions. He had something with his eye, where his eye practically fell out. Yeah, he's had some evil Knievel wounds. Let's put it that way. Yeah. And the last one, this Forever, there was this one where you could see it, where the bowl really fucked him up. I mean, you would think all the other ones have messed him up, but that was the last one. You could tell in this particular, the Jackass Forever, Johnny Knoxville kind of backed off a little bit, and he's had more than 9 lives, that's for sure. I mean, great. I don't want to discredit the other guys on the shit that they've been through, but I personally, I think what I enjoy the most on the Jackass episodes is when they kind of make these harmless pranks on one another.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I enjoy the most. But when they do those ones where you're like, oh God, I can't watch, you know what I mean?
I can still watch the one with the giant hand.
Exactly. That cracks me up because they're all laughing when it happens.
Yeah.
And sadly, this last one, what is his name? Bam
Margera.
Yeah, he can't be a part of it because, well, they're all pretty much, they volunteered to do drug testing and all that. They're trying to live, obviously they're getting older. I mean, hell, even Steve-O, hell, that guy, ironically, is living one of the cleanest lifestyles more than most people. I mean, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't do it. He's obsessed with his health right now, which is good for him. And Bam, he just he's having a hard time shaking his drug and alcohol abuse, but there's no doubt about it. He's still having a hard time dealing with Ryan. Was it Ryan Dunn, I believe? The guy who died more than a few years ago. He was part of the Jackass crews. I mean, it's a shame. I mean, he shouldn't have been drinking and driving, but what happened to him, the other guy and his car, I mean, it's obviously that was a horrible wreck. I mean, because when you see just basically the basis, the storyline of how this wreck happened, it would have been impossible for anybody to survive that. And him and Bam, they had been best friends since they were kids. And you can tell Bam he hasn't recovered from that. He's been fucked up ever since Ryan died.
I bet.
So
I'm always reminded of that I forget what roast it was, but Amy Schumer came up and she made a crack about that Ryan Dunn death. And Steve-O was sitting right there. And the look on his face, like he couldn't say anything. I think Mike Tyson was the one that ended up being like, fuck you, Amy. Which, I mean, Mike Tyson's the man.
Yeah.
I always think of that every time.
I seen something the other day on YouTube. And I still ask myself, why am I paying for all these streaming services? Because I watch so much YouTube. And it is really, truly, I've said it before, it is completely unrelated to the horror stuff. Mike Tyson, I guess, was recently on one of these late night shows. And a guy who's I guess he's a huge YouTuber. He's also a fighter now. He's talking about how he'd like to fight Mike Tyson.
I know who that is.
You know who it is?
Jake, right?
I think, yeah. Well, you do it better
Jake
than I
Paul?
do. Yes, yes.
Logan Paul's brother.
And I guess Mike Tyson's kind of like, he's crediting this guy as being a good fighter. He said, yeah, it'd be a good fight. But obviously, you know, I don't know nothing about that stuff, but I'm sure, you know, if with the two of them having enough respect for one another, why the hell not? If they're going to train for it, then do it. You know, make it professional. They can both make a ton of money off of it.
I mean, not that it matters where you're from, but literally they're like just north of us.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll be
They
damned.
were near Youngstown.
Yeah,
I think
that's definitely the opposite corner of the state.
I mean, good for them because, you know, they are millionaires, but
I'll tell you what, this YouTube thing, it's something. I mean, if you could find a way to do it, you know, then all power to you. Stick to it because it's amazing. I started hearing it about 5 years ago, and it's still kids. That's what they want to do for a living. They want to be a YouTuber full time, and if you could do it, good luck. But the thing of it is, it's kind of the same thing like in Hollywood. Not everybody's going to make it out there. You know, we all know that. You don't have to be a celebrity to realize that. Not everybody's going to make it. And that's the same thing with YouTube. You just got to find, you're either really gifted at it and you could find a way to capture some, because you know, let's say if I was doing a YouTube channel about alcohol, spirits, wine, all that.
I've seen them.
They exist.
About mowing the grass. I've seen grass ones and I've watched them.
But how do you try to make your channel better than theirs? You see what I mean? You see the grass cutting ones. You got to find a creative way of doing it. And if you could figure it out, like it's so easy, like making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, then you, my friend, have got the niche. You've got the concept of doing YouTube. Because that, I think, is the most difficult thing when it comes to YouTube. It really is. It's the Meyer stuff. You would think, okay, that's easy. And yeah, in a sense it is. But how many times, let's say this is a Michael Myers mask, or the peanuts. Everybody loves these peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
How many times can you do a video of this can of peanuts doing the same thing?
See, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's the same topic.
How can you make it do this? You go, ooh, that was awesome.
But I feel like, especially with like your unboxings, I mean, I always got excited about them because like every time you went to unbox, it was kind of like harnessing a feeling. Yeah. Like I could tell your excitement, even if I wasn't getting a mask. Like when you would get a mask, it was like, wow, I want to tune into this. I want to see how he reacts. You know, it was exciting. So I feel like in that case, we're really tuning in to watch your reaction, not necessarily the mask. That makes
So much sense, and it's appreciated. That's for sure. And I get it. I've heard a few others describe it the same way. And me being on this side, technically standing where I'm at right now, kind of facing in that direction, kind of having a camera. This one's at right now, and that one right there. Um, there's two things about it from my perspective. You're always worried, did I get it? You know, because there was one, I forget which mask it was. It might have been the NHK. My damn bat. I had a different type of lavalier microphone where it required a battery, and this thing would actually attach to my camera. And sure as shit enough, that battery died. So when I've done everything. I've got the camera here, the lights there. And you know as well as I do, once you do an unboxing, it's kind of like a live video, all right? Because you can only do it once. Because let's face it, I'm not an Amber Heard. I can't bullshit my, acting on the stand or my latest interview to get PR reviews.
Nor would we want to see that. I mean, it's that genuine reaction, the excitement. It's like, I can watch those videos just over and over.
And I do admit I miss those chills when you do open up that box, when you get one from your favorite artist or one you're just like, whoa, holy, because right then and there, that's when it looks its best. I personally think that's when your mask that you just get, when it's in that box and you can clearly see it. To me, that's after you get out of the box, once that air hits it, it starts losing its. I don't know. There's just something about it.
For me, I just can't capture feelings, as we saw earlier. I mean, for me, it's just I almost get quiet.
Yeah,
because I want to take it all in.
I enjoyed doing this quite a bit. The stress on it sucked because I really wanted to make sure not only was I capturing what I was feeling, but making sure, because you're a one-man band, in all honesty, even when I was thinner, I kind of had to do this to get from high air, and my kitchen and the bar, there's not much space. And I'm always kind of like doing this. And oh, well, it's comical now that I think about it. And of course, when I start editing it, oh my God, it seemed like it took me all week to edit one of those videos. Now I could probably edit one of those videos in one day because I was so worried about adding cool effects and stuff to it.
You were successful there because, I mean, it was always entertaining.
But here's the elephant in the room when it comes to the negative, the con of it. Yeah. Those things get fucking, just as well as I do, those unboxings get very expensive after a while.
This is true.
And as my road that I was traveling, I was like, I can't afford this shit anymore. I just can't, because in all reality, as I'm buying these masks, this house started having more issues. I'm like, okay, if I keep on buying masks, I'm not going to be able to have the house that I worked. It's like, so it's kind of like, I want to get more of this, and then I was trying to figure out, okay, how can I still do this channel and not do expensive unboxings all the time and still keep it going? And it's a challenge. It really is.
So, I mean, that makes sense because, I mean, now that you're making and redoing masks, I mean, it's same feeling. I mean, now it's just kind of translated into that.
I can't wait to start doing those. I am so excited to start getting into that. And like I was saying earlier, my focus is I've been trying to focus on going to the gym and certain diet that I've been on. I've been eating a lot of salads during the day but just not killing myself while I was doing it, but just trying to focus on it. And it's funny too, because in my mind, I'm constantly thinking about what I wanted. I know, like, when I do my first one, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes on it. But I know me, when it comes to stuff like this, I'll get angry at it and kind of put it to a side, but then I'll go in my bedroom and I'll be sitting there thinking about it. And then I'll go back and tackle it again. So I have a feeling but the beauty of it is, that's one thing I hear a lot from people when they start, even when we're rehauling these masks. I hear this so much, and I may have heard this from you as well, Chris, the patience. I don't know if I'd have the patience to do this. It's really not as hard as you think. It really isn't. It's not like, like, say, here's the mask, which needs another beer. It's not like I'm technically actually working on an H2 Deluxe.
Okay.
'Cause he really liked the one I did for my son, so I'm doing this for him. And the funny thing of it is that I mean, I think we all agree that Tots H2 Deluxe, it looks like a clown mask. The way they made it, so I don't know. But when you start working on it, it actually looks a hell of a lot better. And but I can't wait till I could start working on my very own, where I could start pulling latex in my own mold. And I was really hoping that I could get them started before the Halloween season starts this year, but I might not be able to, and that's fine. Because I might there's a possibility people might start contacting me about doing a kills masks, for rehauls like last year. And that's fine. I'll work on those, because if anything, every time I do a Halloween kills mask, I feel like I've gotten better and better each time on how I paint those, because I'm always trying to get a certain. I take Dick Castles and I try to get that burnt concept down a little bit more of how it should look, because a lot of times I see some really good looking ones, but it's just too busy on that burnt side, and it takes away the how can you put it? When you look at the mask itself, there's reasons why it's sculpted the way that it is. There's reason why it's burnt in certain areas the way that it is. And you want to highlight those burnt marks. You want to highlight that latex being burnt there, but you don't want to make it all of a sudden look like a big ass frozen burnt hamburger patty on one side, or it loses its character. You know what I mean?
Sure, it's like shadows and lighting, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Sure to certain. Yeah, I got you.
Every Halloween fan, if they sit down and they watch Halloween Kills, we already know we're masters of the H1, we're masters of the H2. And we're always, every damn scene, it looks different because it's a white mask. And you've noticed your own collection already. There's times it looks different under certain lighting, maybe where you're standing at certain angles.
Oh, I mean, these masks right here, the lights inside can actually turn color. So, I mean, if you put blue on that, it highlights totally different portions of it.
I think it has a lot to do with the fact that it's just a white mask. And, and you take the Pride, since we're in our Pride month right now, the rainbow, as we all know, if you took art classes, or that was your major, if you took all the colors in the world and you spin it real fast, what is it going to look like? White. So I think that's one of the reasons why that damn white mask, our own eyes, sometimes when we look at something in the dark, we don't know what we see. And that mask right there does the same thing. We don't know exactly what we're seeing. And I think that's why we fell in love with the simple white mask. Because all in all, when you think about the shape of the mask, no pun intended, there's not a whole lot there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's very simple, which is exactly what, as John Carpenter requested, he wanted a faceless, image. And that's exactly what we got. And now we got the beauty of, you look out in your own backyard as much as you work on your yard, the sun, how it goes over your yard, and the shadows, how it captures things differently. That's that white mask. And now when we watch Halloween Kills with all those different imperfections, because the reality of it is when you look at Christopher Nelson's and Nick Castle's, their own copies, it looks different than what you see on the big screen. It's not as well that, and of course, when they're editing the film, and then once they're done editing it, obviously it goes to sound. So then they got to add the sound to it. And then they got to go to, basically what they still do is they kind of like a Kodak. So really, as we all do, because people are professionals now with their phones, they take a picture and then they're editing the way the picture looks. They put filters on it. I'm serious, if you do look at their masks without any filters, it's nothing like what you see on the big screen.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. There's a reason for it. And bravo to Christopher Nelson on that. He was very smart, and obviously he's been very smart. He's a professional artist, and we lucked out. I mean, yes, I agree with others. Chris Morgan could have made a mask for these films. There's no doubt about it. Chris Morgan is a true artist when it comes to working on these masks. And
He's genius.
And Nick Malpagano, he's a very talented man. Terry Lambert, Nick and Grease. I mean, the list, Rick Ramby, the list could go on and on and on and on. There's some talented artists that are up and coming now.
Up and coming, Matthew Reed. I mean,
and then I appreciate the hell out of all these guys. They do such amazing work, and they're inspiring too. But to give credit where credit's due, Christopher Nelson, he was a genius about this, because it's like, okay, he knew exactly what he was doing to capture, because he's used to working with studios. I mean, dear Lord, the guy was working on Marvel films. He's working on, Quentin Tarantino films. So he knew exactly what the director needed. So, and he gave us fans what we needed. That mask is still, let's face it, the movie could be, Evil Dies Tonight over and over and over again and annoy the shit out of you, but you're really there to see Michael do what he's going to do. And yet you're still kind of wondering, you're going like this. Ooh, what's it look like? What's it look like?
Constantly.
So
that's why this one ends coming up. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not going to alter that much. It's not going to change much, but still, it's like, I want to see it,
Well, of course. Hell, the way I look at it, I've got plans to see Thor, and I already have 2 credits for 2 tickets. So by the next time I go see a film in the theater, I'll have a ticket for myself, a ticket for my son, a ticket for hopefully my girlfriend. Have you thought about that Cinemark yet? Because I'm telling you what. So am I calling that right yet?
Oh, I haven't done it yet. I need to do that.
I recommend it, especially with the family. No doubt about it. Because if you do it now, if you don't go to the movie until October, you'll practically have credit of like 4 tickets. Plus, you get like 20% off concession too. And it's kind of like the way things are today, you can order your food ahead of time. So with you having, I know you have date night, but you probably have family night. You're like, okay, I've got a lot going on here. If you plan your food ahead of time, by the time you get to the movie theater, you grab your food and go sit down, and voila, you're ready to go. Oh crap, I haven't paid attention. Has anybody came back yet? No. Ooh, okay. Damn it. See those blue lights right now from my angle. Holy shit. You've got people would be shitting themselves right now looking at these. See, it's their fault. They should be here.
Is that phone scene down there? That one, I mean, when you put it in blue light, it looks nothing like any other light.
Well, if anybody watches this later, and we're already an hour into this, if they get to this point, okay, this is where I want to make sure that I'm going to plug. Obviously, I don't have off the top of my head, but yeah, if you go to CW's his YouTube channel, you're going to see this in the background all the time, because he does unboxing. Well, not all of your videos have this, because you obviously have your car and your videos and stuff, but
yeah, I'm all over the place. I don't have one.
I'm telling you what,
concentrate on one thing.
They're always going to be like, ooh, what's the one there on the top left, or the one that's in the middle? People they'll constantly go nuts.
I mean, pretty much that whole case right there is Chris Morgan.
From the left side,
there's Jimmy Falco's.
Yeah,
down there. There's a couple Rambies in there, and now there's a TBD in there.
it's so funny. I'm glad I decided to put the Kirk tag on it, because you just don't see a Kirk tag on a Myers mask.
You really don't.
I figure, why not? You could take it off if you want, generally speaking. Oh, the blue. Yeah, the blue, it doesn't matter. They're all going to look cool as hell that way.
The white's really bright, huh?
Well, I've got underneath this bar, I've got those let's see. it's dominant, but see the blue from a camera, from a webcam, it over exaggerates the color anyways. Ooh, that's cool as hell. They're like they're on fire.
See this one down here in the red?
Yeah, the third from the that one right there.
Yeah, that's Falco's. It looks good in red, I think. Pretty cool. I just thought
They all look yeah, it's I get like I said, the light. I wonder if that's the same light that I have underneath this bar here. It's a thin LED light. Everyone, I mean, I barely have it on.
Yeah, they're off Amazon. I mean, they're I mean, you might laugh, but I think it's an actual car kit. Like people put it underneath
Yeah,
seats. But
mine's just a thin strip that I bought at Lowe's.
yeah, I mean, they just use a USB. You just plug it right in there, and then it's got 4. So I just did every one, you know.
Well, did you ever think you'd have a TOTS mask in your cabinet?
I sure did.
Well, the reality of it is,
I wonder if that.
I actually have a tooth. I don't. Maybe I don't know if it'll look the same underneath this camera. It's the very first 2018 that I did, and I kind of screwed it up. But then it was actually my experimental one that I did. And now it's it doesn't really purposely look exactly like it's supposed to, from the film itself. I mean, it's close enough to it. That now is experimenting with a certain type of wool.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go get it. There's just something about this mask. I actually like it more than any other 2018. And this is bad because I've done them for customers. It's just, it kind of reminds me of what you would see in a comic book, if that makes any sense. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to capture it well with this webcam.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about too.
Let me see. It's in my bedroom. I'll go get it. Okay. Ouch. Actually, I need to get myself in a little bowl. He's away. Yeah, this is the first one that I did for myself. And like I said, I don't know if this webcam's really getting it. But no, it's not really sharing with how I see it with my own 2 eyes.
Mm-hmm.
The hair itself is completely different. It looks like a cobweb.
I was gonna say the hair is interesting.
And I love it. It's just, there's something different. This is one that you'd have to see in person. And I'm actually really proud of it because, like I said, it doesn't look anything. It's close, obviously, to 2018, and that's what it is. It's a 2018.
See on
But it's
on Zoom, it's losing details, but on YouTube, I mean, it's coming up really well.
I just there's just something about this. When I was done with it, I'm like, you know what? I'm not messing with this anymore. I like it because I don't know. Like I said, it just reminds me of like when you see comic books of Myers Mask has a certain kind of over the top details on certain things, but still kind of has that essence. That's what the back of the hair is messed up. I don't care. And in all honesty, I would never want to part from this thing because it's different. And I like experimenting with these things too, anyways.
Want to see something really funny?
Yeah, sure. Oop, Renee's here.
Now, before I say anything,
Oh, real quick, while you're doing that, Renee just stopped in. She's not trying to interrupt, which you're not. Trust me, you're not interrupting anything, Renee.
Please,
Thank you for
interrupt,
stopping in.
interrupt away.
Just wanted to stop in and tell everyone a happy Father's Day. Well, Renee, Chris and I appreciate it. It's just the three of us right now. You, Chris, and I. So no, you're not interrupting anything. So you were about ready to you show us something?
So before I say anything, James Jude, awesome guy.
Mm-hmm.
Great guy, right?
Yeah.
So this was back when the Tots were just releasing the 2018s. Of course, I got it. I'm not going to say anything else, but yeah, I wanted it redone, right? So I paid the money to get it redone and everything else. I'm, like, wow, that's really cool. I'm going to take this to actually have James sign it when I go see him next month. This is a couple years ago, 3 years ago. But I give him the mask.
Oh, he signed it all right.
He signed the shit out of it. And he's such a cool guy. Like, he had the mask down flat. Like, I don't know if he thought it was just a regular Tots or whatever, but he's got them hands and he's just going to town on it. And I'm just sitting there kind of crying inside. I'm like,
wow. And Renee, if you're actually still watching, she's probably tired. She's been working all day out in the heat. Renee, the mask that Chris is talking about right now, the Christopher Nelson, he was the guy who actually created that mask. I mean, this is the actual makeup artist for Halloween in 2018, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. Christopher Nelson, super tall guy too. I mean, what would you say? He's about 6'10" or something like that.
huge.
Yeah, but
At least 6'4", 6'5".
yeah, and ironically, like what Chris was showing there, he signed the hell out of that right side of the mask.
Oh yeah, got it good.
But you know what? If you really wanted to, you could sell that on eBay for like 3-5 times of what the mask is worth.
I mean, I'm just used to the flap. Nick Castle. I mean, he does the flap.
Yeah.
So many people do the flap, but man,
That's what I did on yours, by the way. I think I try to put the TBD on it, the inside.
so I don't show this one off much because every time I do, people are like, "What in the hell? Why did you let that happen?" And I'm like, I didn't have the heart to tell them.
you could just say you're trying to get autographs from everyone on that mask. That's why when we were the Horror Hound last year in Cincinnati,
Yeah,
I was seriously contemplating about taking my Nag Castle. I mean, have Nick Castle sign it. But it'd be perfect to have Nick Castle sign it, right? But my thing of it is, I was afraid to take it down there and some complete stranger goes, "Ooh, what is that?" And I'd be like freaking out.
see, I was real surprised because I packed up. I've got a Shape 78 by Freddie Loper over there.
Uh-huh.
I've got a
I
Kills.
always forget Freddie's name. My bad. Shout out to Freddie.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
I've got that one. I've got a Kills down there by Rimzap. Remy Zapperzan. He's on Instagram mostly, and then I had this one, and I put them all in duffel bags, and I was so afraid that I had knives in there, I had masks in there.
Yeah.
I was so afraid I was going to get stopped or something, but nobody said a word. And then when I did open them up, people were like crowded around it, and I was like, oh shit, here we go.
there was somebody there that was cosplaying. He was shorter than me, and he had a couple of Nag James Carter masks and all that. And he was one that he was wearing, and he was one that he was carrying around. I'm like, admiring and all that. And he actually, him and his wife, I think it was his wife came up, and yeah, I'm honored. I'm thrilled. It's neat when somebody says, "Hey, you're on YouTube." The guy, downstairs, or I'll hear, "Hey, I occasionally stumble across."
Yeah, that's
And
easy.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm still, but then I'm naturally looking to see what he's got and all that. In the back of my mind, yes, I appreciate what he has and don't want to touch it. And I hope that most people are that way. Or if you want to touch it, you're kind of like, from afar. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, are you sure you don't want to put them in your car or something? Oop.
Yeah, I understand.
Oh, we have a PD Hendrix on here. He just wants to dance. I mean, times like these, you have to have that feeling, especially when, it's dancing season. So
It's a dance zone. Go ahead,
yeah.
buddy.
You know what? Since it is Mother's Day or Father's Day, whatever day it is, whatever pronoun day it is,
He, she day.
he, she day, they day,
Day day. I like that. I like that too.
who day. I think I'm going to go ahead and treat myself to another tasty beverage. So, or Chris, since you are my guest, if you're feeling the same, I know you've got Father's Day technically tomorrow, the old traditional Father's Day. Are you in the mood for another tasty beverage out there?
I am.
Well, I'll let you go first and then I'll wait. And then, yeah, Renee's like, oh my God, Scott's drinking. Yes. If she's still here, that is, of course. And Petey, I know we haven't seen each other in a while. You haven't missed out anything. Ohio still sucks. And, yeah, that's what you've missed. No. Oh, I'm supposed to sit right here and entertain while Chris is away from the that thing right there called the camera. I'll give you today's forecast while he's away. Let's see. Today's forecast. It's hot. Tomorrow's forecast. It's hot. Monday's forecast, even hotter. Tuesday, you're screwed. So there's your weekly forecast. The lottery numbers winning, good luck. Those were your winning numbers. And I'm sure a new iPhone, a new Android phone will be coming out soon. Let's see what else. Because here we got another person here, Mr. Meows. Now people are showing up. Now we got people showing up. After Chris and I have been on here for 7 straight hours, people are finally showing up. Mr. Meowsy, Nags masks are expensive, but when you pay the top dollar for them, yes, with the Nag mask, you get what you pay for. In other words, if you're going to go out and buy yourself a Rolls Royce, you're going to get yourself a Rolls Royce. There's no doubt about it. Lord knows I have spent, oh God, 1, 2, 3, how many Nag masks do I have now? There's enough out there. So yes, you get what you pay for. There's a Nag mask right there. Could you tell us a little bit about that Nag mask while I go refreshing my Pilsner glass with Mr. Heineken?
The phone scene.
Yes.
Yay. Nick, he knows what he's doing. Can't argue with that at all. Very wet hail, huh? This mask, I have such a hard time stuffing this mask. I can't tell what that looks like. Trying to keep up with your guys' comments here.
They're now just showing up.
If I had to.
Chris, you're going to be busy right now. What am I doing? Sorry, we're on a commercial break right now, guys. This would be a good time for you two to put an ad in there. See. But the YouTube, what do I know? All right, what did we miss? What did we miss? Where are we at now? Renee, she's probably taking a nap. Pete, he just wants to dance, maybe a Dr. Pepper. Don't have any Dr. Pepper. I got a Coke over there. Nagmas, we're still on that.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is the chance of a very wet? Is that hail? Or
I wasn't sure.
grass is so bad. I'm going to assume he said, what are the chances of a very wet pussycat? Not very well. That was too loud. Oh, sorry. I gotta make another cheers out to my Irish fathers out there. Whoa, you paid around £1,200 for a 75K painted by, well, let's see. Obviously, Mr. Meowsy. Where are you from, Mr. Meowsy? I'm assuming somewhere over in the UK. It's because I'm trying to figure out the difference between with a nag mask with James Carter. We'll see. You got nag in Greece.
What's €1,200? I can never do those.
I think that's I'm assuming, and I'm, I shouldn't assume. I mean, I am a 52-year-old blonde that doesn't know jack shit. So I would say Scotland. Thank you, Mr. Meowsy. There we go. Well, cheers. Do you have Father's Day? If not, you should. And but still, I'm curious. You paid $1,200 for a 75K JC, and man, I will never buy another. Yeah. Are you still waiting on that mask? Yeah, from Detroit. They do have Scotland in Detroit. Actually, is Detroit a state or a city this time of the year? It's hard to say. It really is. It's roughly 600 pesos. Here's the thing. I know. Here we go. Hey, Siri. How much money do I have?
Couldn't say.
No, me neither. She's right. Let's see. Oh, you have it. Okay, cool. Oh God, there's that ugly KC 4300 again.
That's the reason we're all here now.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. We're here to protest the KC 4300.
Should have left it right there, but I really wanted to fill that spot.
Let's see. I just Mr. Meowsy, real quick back to you. I've got a 75K, but it was actually painted from Nick himself, not JC, James Carter, my mentor, I guess you could say. But they're all actually to be fair though. I value so many guys out there with what they do. You guys have been doing it for a while. I mean, there's just, and even some guys that are just coming along all of a sudden that are just so good at it. So, it was secondhand. Okay. I'm just from experience, secondhand. Not that that's a bad thing, but that's probably why you paid as much as you did.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure, Chris, you could testify to this. Anytime that you have, we're going to use nag mask in JC, and hell, Mr. Meowsy, you probably heard this already too. Anytime you have those two partnering up on a mask and it's secondhand, you're gonna pay the price for it.
And it's always to avoid those wait times.
Yeah, and you guys are. I'll just sit here and drink this. Chris, you nailed it right on the head there.
I mean, not to diminish anything from the art of the mask itself and the guys. I mean, they're great at what they do, but it's just like they waited the wait time, and if we want to skip the wait time, we gotta pony up,
And Mr. Don't beat yourself up. You knew what you were getting yourself into. You've got a beautiful piece. There's no, I don't even see it, and I know it's a beautiful piece. I know for a fact it's a beautiful piece. It's secondhand, it's a pricey, Definitely. You knew what you were getting into. You knew what you were paying for. And I'm willing to bet that you probably take care of that thing as if it was a baby in a cradle. Oh, sorry, a car farted back here. Yeah, it's true. You could always sell it for the same. So it's a great investment the way, I mean, these things are practically gold, they will go up in value. And I hate to say this, as terrible as this may sound, and this sounds horrible, but this is life, and we all have to deal with the alternative sometimes. when either one is no longer with us. Could you imagine how valuable those masks will be?
Yeah.
I know it's a terrible thing to say, but it's just how it is.
I mean, that's life. We can't avoid it, but
Yeah. I mean, Picasso. His paintings, yeah. I'm glad that we have some more company with us because Chris and I, we were about ready to talk about reruns of Laverne and Shirley, but now that you're here, we could avoid that subject. That's for sure.
it was getting risky for a minute.
It was. I mean,
Not too much going on up here.
I'm still saying Laverne. Wait a minute. Was she the director? Yeah.
Mr. Meowsy, do you would you like to chat or anybody else?
You know, I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you so much.
1992 or Petey? Anybody that would want to get in the chat as well?
Yes, this is a Zoom. And if anybody wants to join this amazing Zoom, in other words, you can get your phone if you have Zoom. Did Zoom actually get started in 2020 or has it been out longer than that?
That sounds about right. I mean, I feel like that definitely due to the whole COVID thing is when it hit its popularity. Seems right.
That sounds about right. Well, okay, now we've got 1992. Well, thank you. I'm glad you are now, since you love my videos, you are joining a Hangout. And this is where we get to talk about anything. I don't care what it is. I mean, like I said, Chris and I are going to talk about Laverne and Shirley. So there you go. Petey, he's got to run out to a comedy show. Great to see you, fellas. I hope it's funny. In other words, I hope the comedians are allowed to be funny. Slap a few people around. But yes, anyone that wants to join Chris and I here on Zoom, do the whole video Zoom thing, please let me know. And I will send you the invite link through either, via email, or I'm assuming you can get the link. Like if you have a Instagram account, I'm sure I can.
I just did the join code. As long as you have the app or something like that, you can just
really?
Code and it'll take you right to it.
Well, with your knowledge and my little knowledge, we'll definitely figure this out, how we can get someone on here. So congratulations on the Bengals seasons. Look, we don't really give a shit about the Bengals around here anymore, but thank you so much. I think they win about it. What comes more, cicadas or the Bengals having a win in season? I think the cicadas come around more.
He's pissed. Mr. Mousy, I'm assuming you meaning halfway to being drunk, which, I mean,
yeah.
I'm as well. Don't worry.
I'm working on it. I mean, I got my two buddies right here, so I'm at a bar right now. This would be perfect for you to join.
This is
if it gets too loud, we got the volume control. No big deal.
As long as you don't shoot any endangered owls, we're all right.
Hannah, I have no idea who the hell that is. I'm not into the mainstream stuff. I mean, I kind of shut myself out since 1996, so I don't know who any of these people are. It's sad. It's like when I get on my phone and when it goes to the music, wherever it is, all the music, and if I actually attempt to listen now, I want to say about 90% of these people, I'm like, who are these people? I don't know. And I've tried to set it up to an algorithm where it's something that's relatable to me, and it still goes back to these kids. They're younger than my son, and it's like, oh God.
Good times.
Yeah, they are nice nuts. I do appreciate them as much. I mean, they are starting to, these nuts occasionally hang down low down here every once in a while, but every once in a while I'll pick them up and bring them back to life. I guess nobody wants to join us, Chris. So I'm going to ask. We started getting into not. Don't worry, no Laverne and Shirley. The mask that is Well, technically in front of you right now, it's a piece of shit tots. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's it's that is the mask. I'm being all serious now.
History. Scott.
This was the KC 4300 that Mr. C Webb, in other words, Chris Webb, he won this mask and he waited very patiently to do an unboxing. He did it in this video, so I'm sorry that you guys missed out on it. But you've seen unboxings before, but if you want to see the true this, where Chris was just like, oh my God, he actually did faint when he opened it up. But the good news is you'll be able to check it out here on the video itself, whatever.
I mean, I came back pretty fast. I mean, it was like 30 seconds, 45 seconds.
Something like that, So yeah, you're more welcome to check that out. But yeah, that's the mask that I basically, I did a Mark Twain to it, and voila, there it is. Let's see. She's autistic, worth checking out. No doubt about that. No, speaking of autism, my soccer season better be here this year because I've got some parents that are too lazy to help sign up volunteering to coach this year. But I don't want to get into that because then I'll get ticked off. Yeah. 40 families, we can't seem to get some volunteers to help volunteer for the soccer season. If they don't sign up, we won't have a soccer season this year.
40.
Yeah, we need I'm a head coach. We've got 3 teams. That's it. And we need at least 2 coaches, technically 3, but we'll do a minimum of 2 per team.
Damn.
And they just sit around expecting other people to sign up. And basically what it comes down to, they're giving an extension. The president of our soccer organization, she's given an extension. And if we don't get 2 more, from what I understand, there's no soccer season this year. So that's unfair to a lot of kids. So
absolutely.
All right, P, will you have fun, stay safe, and laugh a lot tonight? Lord knows we all need that. Let's see. That mask is beautiful. That mask is beautiful. I'm sure you've been checking out all this other amazing collection that Chris has behind him there. And you did mention earlier in this video, Chris, if you guys are a fan of Chris Morgan, he's got a hell of a collection right behind his left elbow there.
Oh, yep. My bad.
No. Your elbow wasn't in the way. It was like a good pointer. So yeah, Mr. Meowsy, if you're a big fan of Chris Morgan, if you're kind of curious, check that out. I mean, how many Chris Morgans do you have right behind you there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8.
8. Wow.
I mean, it's just a really good guy, man.
Yeah, he is. He's fun. He's entertaining, and he will. He's not full of shit either, too. I appreciate the hell out of it. He's going to be brutally honest with you, and I appreciate that. Mr. Biazzi, you wanted to win that so bad. Well, keep in mind, my goal is I want to do more of these down the road. I know I don't create content on here as much as I used to, but the beauty of it is once I start dabbling more into my future plans, in other words, I want to make my own masks. I actually want to pour my own latex into my own mold, hopefully more than one mold eventually, but I'm not going to be very good at it first. Keep in mind, right now I'm working on my painting skills again. I'm bringing out those, working out those kinks of my old airbrush skills. And, so me making masks, I'm probably going to stumble and fall a lot in the beginning, but my goal is I want to get good at it. And I'm going to have more contests of those down the road.
Yes,
White mass production, right?
Yep. Actually, that might work pretty good.
All you're reading is sorry, I was just trying to, do my thing. Sculpt, yeah, I'm doing a little bit of that right now while I'm learning about that. And I may actually try to invest into some masters as well, too. But in other words, I'm not going to BS you guys. I'm not going to do any 3D prints because, first of all, I don't have a 3D printer, so I can't afford that. Well, I'll be honest with you. If I did have a 3D printer, I probably would consider doing that. I mean, but then again, I don't know. I don't know. But right now, I kind of want to do, I guess what you should do is learn to sculpt, learn to do more. Actually, I'm thinking about getting you guys have seen it obviously for years. The Kirk, the face, and basically make a mask from there. but I'm going to have to obviously figure out how to do the ears and all that. But I because so many artists have done that, so I'm going to try that.
Is that the live cast thing? I forget.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I figure there's nothing wrong with me experimenting with doing different things. So,
No.
but I'm basically what I'm doing right now is like, this is what I'm wanting to do. And if I don't do it, then you guys be like, well, where am I at? Well, it's because my ass didn't try, but I've been very anxious to do it. And I'm hoping that I could start working on that. That, and I'm also taking under consideration the way Mother Nature has been around here. I'm no expert on it. I need to contact a couple guys and ask them is, with the type of heat that we're having, I want to know, because if I invest more money in certain things, is this kind of a bad, or where would you recommend? What type of climate should I, you know what I mean? I want to know these things. This is the stuff that I don't know. So it's the boring stuff.
As far as the sculpting and everything?
Yeah. I mean, you think about it. It's been very hot here lately. And what if I was sculpting in a
right?
So this is the little stuff. Like I said, it's the boring. It's like if you're taking art major and you got to take art history. It's kind of like.
I've heard Chris talk quite a few times.
What's that?
I've heard Chris talk about that quite a few times because he lives down in Florida.
Yeah.
I've heard him talk about that quite a few. I think he actually finishes outside, but I believe he pulls it inside his garage once it's too hot.
Yeah, my garage is something that I'm keeping in mind quite a bit when you said that. Mr. Miyazzi asked a really good question. Are you aware of Couch Hard channel on YouTube? Yes, I have. That guy right there deserves more attention. He has a small YouTube channel and he does a lot of good shit on there. And he's not afraid to have fun on his channel. And I did see that sculpting of the H5, which that reminds me, I am going to use my phone. That is a good question. Yeah, Mr. Couch Hard. He's always busting his ass off trying to put good. He's got a hell of a collection. He's trying to do whatever he can to get his YouTube channel to grow, and he deserves more. There's no doubt about it. Nice. And there's somebody who I have been watching. He has got such a small channel, and he does so much cool stuff. And he does a lot of. I gotta find it. I think I know I subscribed to try to help support him. Let's see. Let me figure out how to do this again. This is pretty sad. A YouTuber, and I'm trying to figure out how to work my own phone with this stuff. Let me go to my channel. Did I burp loud in the microphone? I hope I did. No offense, but come on.
Very faint.
Ah, damn it. Okay. Let's see. Go to my channel. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta find the right one. Wait a minute. That is not the right one. I've got 3 channels. I got to make sure I pick the right one. Oh my God, there's 5 people watching this video right now. Chris, we suck.
I mean, I'm excited.
Subscriptions. There we go. God, the thing of it is, I don't even know. It's if I was laying in bed watching YouTube right now, his videos would pop up. And I feel bad because here I am talking about this guy and I don't even know the name of his channel right now, but he's always doing like how to make a latex mask, and he's about my age too. And what he does is his videos are not like, quality's not amazing, but what he's doing is very interesting. God, I wish I could think of it. Maybe if I scroll up, it'll pop up.
Mr. Mousy says you got to love the Halloween community pulling together.
We have to, considering the world we live in today.
I mean, to be honest, I've met some of the coolest, nicest people ever through Halloween community. I mean, I will always be a fan of the community. I think it doesn't get the attention that it deserves with all the other stuff that happens. Drama.
I will never understand the drama in this. I really don't, especially when you compare it to the real world drama. It's so childish.
It's all a white mask,
I don't know. I think what it is, I'm doing a good job of like I've counted what? Oh, sorry. I looked at this thumbnail and it says, where does Halloween go? And for some reason, what's his name from Blumhouse? I'm assuming it looked like Hayden Christensen for a second. I'm thinking, what has Hayden Christensen got to do with Halloween?
Jason,
It's my eyes. Trust me. It was, I was seeing it wrong. I can't find this guy. I feel bad. One of these days, I know what I'm going to do. When I find his videos, I may contact him first privately, introduce myself, and ask him, hey, if you mind, I'll do a little video to promote your channel, because the guy deserves more recognition. Because what he's doing, it's not about him going like, look at my mask. He's actually sculpting. He's actually showing the tricks and the trades. Because every once in a while, I'll sit and watch his videos and I'm like, okay, how's he doing this? How's he doing that? How to foam fill a mask. I mean, all the stuff. I mean, he's doing stuff that, honestly, yeah, that I've taken notes from. And he does a lot of this stuff like out in his backyard, So that's pretty cool.
That's real cool.
Okay. Chris, we got Rob Stewart here. When do you guys think we'll get a Halloween Ends trailer? Chris and I have already talked about this earlier on our personal feelings on it. Look, I want to make sure I share my thoughts on this very respectfully, very carefully, because I don't want to confuse you at all, Rob, or anybody else. I don't know when we will. My personal goal, I don't want to see it. The reason why Halloween Ends, if this is, let's say hypothetically, the last Halloween film, and from this trilogy that I'm really respecting, I'm not in love with the films, but I'm respecting highly. I want to take this particular one that comes out hopefully October 14th. Yeah, come on, the world we live in, you never know. I want to go into the movie theater and be absolutely surprised on every frame that was shot. So that's me. When is there going to be one? I don't want to know. Chris?
Yeah, I'm of the same mindset really on that, just because I got such a bad taste in my mouth from 2018, that closet scene that ruined the whole sequence for me. I saw it so many times in the trailer, and it was just, when it happened, it fell completely flat, and everyone knew it was coming, and it was. So for me, yeah, I don't want to know either. But if I had to speculate, I feel like it'd be with Black Phone.
I'm hoping Black Phone is very original. And I'm thinking, believe it or not, I may wait until it comes on streaming. As much as I probably like, I want to go see it in the theater. I don't know. I just don't want to see the trailer accidentally. But I know there's a lot of fans that want to see the trailer, and I understand why. But this year, I don't want one for Halloween Ends.
Or if they were real smart about it, because they've kept everything real close to the chest, right?
Yeah.
Considering, what if they didn't do that? What if they just did like I know we already had the CinemaCon or whatever trailer, which I'm not going to get into because I was told that, and it was more than I wanted to know. But what if they just did like a small little couple of clips and just kept it real simple and tried to hide things from us? I would go for that.
I would. But honestly, Chris, I think it would be you going to the studio itself and say, this is exactly what I want. I only have 2 weeks to live.
By gunpoint?
I just don't think that's going to happen. Mr. Miazzi, the problem is with everyone who is into this is so passionate about, and in arguments, you're right about that. You're so right. I've seen people argue over other things that they're all passionate about. It's just like we're butting heads over something we agree. But I think the beauty of it is we're reminding ourselves, okay, hold on, let's take a deep breath. Remember, we're on the same team here. So, but as well as I do, Mr. Miazzi, There are some of them, they just want to know it all. You know what I mean? And they won't accept learning something new, which is so sad because I personally, when I learn something new, and if I could learn something each day, I'd be brilliant as hell, I think. But I love learning something new from anybody, whether it's a stranger or, well, a stranger, really, I guess is the best way to put it.
Absolutely.
Let's see. P, I thought you were going to go see a con, but here's a highlight. But you know what? I don't blame you. I mean, the vibe that Chris and everybody else is throwing off here, they're like, I can't go do this thing. I want to hang out here. So yeah, hear that I probably read it wrong. So yeah, let's blame it on me reading it wrong. I thought he had to go do something. Here's a highlight from my MTV special 2 years ago. MTV still exists. And that's not an insult to you. I didn't know it still existed.
Yeah, no, I'm on the same boat. I thought,
I'm really not trying to sound like a jerk here. I thought that was over with because I don't have cable. So, God, I feel like an ass for saying that now. Let's see. It's from her work from the Scream Queen in the Halloween movies. Ooh. Okay. That sounds sexy because we all know who that is. Gee, who is the Scream Queen from the Halloween? Evil Dies Tonight. I feel like that better never be a bumper sticker, but
that's brand new for me. I've never heard that before.
Evil Dies. I mean, I think every Halloween fan, a mature Halloween fan, when they were watching that in the theater or maybe on Peacock, was probably going, how many more times do I have to hear this? I mean, it's kind of like, I remember back 20 years ago, maybe, when you kept on hearing $5 foot long, and now it's the Hertz commercial. Let's go. You get annoyed. And that movie, I was like, if I have to hear Evil Dies Tonight one more time, I hope Michael kills every single one of you guys just to shut you up.
He kind of did.
Yeah, he did. Thank you. James G. Courtney. Let's see. Yes, the 78 flashback I loved. And I agree with Sean Clark. It might have been at least Sean Clark and Christopher Nelson that talked about the idea that they should have made Halloween Kills. But, we could all do the coulda, shoulda, woulda crap or what if. Halloween Kills, I would have loved if they would have made the majority of that as a flashback. I think we all would have, because I know I literally in the movie theater, and Chris, I don't know what your feelings were on this, but when they went to that 78, I remember in that theater down the street from me where it's a recliner. And I literally pushed that button where I was like, ooh, it got my attention in a heartbeat.
The alley scene?
Yeah, going into the flashback. Yeah, the alley. That's where it got started. I didn't want it to leave. I wanted to stay in the flashback. And I think Sean Clark and Christopher Nelson, said that the majority of the film should have been the flashback. And I don't think we would have been disappointed at all.
That first view was amazing.
Yeah.
That mask was amazing.
Yeah, and it's you think about it too, Chris, and everyone else who's watching or here in the chat. Oh, he's waiting on a lift. From these YouTube videos I've seen about Lyft, good luck. It's amazing. It seemed like there were some people at first about the flashback mask. They were kind of like, now I'm seeing people loving it. And I can see why. It does grow on you. And I haven't watched, I'm not planning on watching Halloween Kills. I'm going to wait and watch it again in October. Duh. But I don't want to watch it purposely until before I go see Halloween Ends. But then I'll probably be like, why not? I think they have an HBO Max where they have Halloween, the original Halloween 2, I think I've seen recently.
Probably. I don't know.
Let's see. Mr. Meowsy used to have the Nightmare Stalker from White Mask Production. Oh, God, that was a gorgeous mask. Do you have that by any chance, Chris?
Night Stalker?
Yeah.
Oh, I do not.
I said Nightmare Stalker. Yes, Michael was definitely, and I was I got to ask you guys, and Chris, you as well. when it came to the point where we had the scene where it was basically Michael in the street, where the whole town, well, a good portion of the town was there to obviously battle, whether you love the scene or not. That's not what I'm getting at. But myself personally, I was kind of like, man, don't hurt Chris, or James. I'm sorry, don't hurt James. Don't hurt James.
Absolutely.
Because I didn't like, don't hurt James, man. I mean, because I really love James Stu Courtney, which is I'm so glad that I have those feelings for this man, because he's obviously come in with so much respect for this role, and he's taken on it. And I think what's helped me out as a huge Nick Castle fan, the fact that those two have such a good, friendship and all, and how much there is a respect between the two. But James, you could tell he has a lot of respect for this role, and he's handling it so well. So now it's like, man, don't hurt James. Okay. Just don't hurt him. Because I don't want him to get messed up to where he can't kill you later.
Exactly. He's such a good guy. I mean, I know it's all, movies or whatever, but
exactly. But oh God,
it's a good guy. I mean, you want to go out and have a beer with him if you ever meet him.
When they show the scenes, whether it's on the DVD or not, I don't remember, even on YouTube, where they were showing the choreograph of James, obviously, just himself. Well, duh, but where him and the guys that were the firefighters, where they were choreographing basically a dance between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them, the fight scene, where you guys know what I'm talking about. And when James even talked about, the bruises and the task that goes on, how you got to get in shape for that. Just watching all of them, it made me think of Star Wars with Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, with obviously of the choreographing and how much they have to prepare for their lifesavers things and all that. And I'm not spoiling anything for you, Mr. Webb. Let's talk about Revenge of the Sith. Okay, there we go. There's a safe place there. Those guys had to practice over and over and over again for those fight scenes. And you could tell that Christopher, sorry. Well, yeah, he'd had to practice on the makeup. James Stu Courtney and the guys that run the firefighters, you could tell they had to practice that quite a bit.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's see.
The more they almost realize, how they don't want to hurt each other. So they have to,
Oh, yeah. No doubt about that. I mean, I always think of, and I know every fan here of Halloween 2, 1981, obviously with Mr. Dick Warlock, the famous hot tub scene, how he talked about how it was basically, oh gosh, I can't think of her name right now. The actress. I can't think of her name.
I know exactly what you're talking about, though. Yeah.
But where she was actually the one that was doing most of the push and the pull, and how he was there to support her and all that. And they did it so well where it looked like obviously Dick Warlock was forcing that. He was just holding on to her, and it makes sense, because if you guys ever did that fun thing where you're supposedly dragging somebody when they're really holding on to your arm, when you're not really pulling their hair.
Right.
That's hard to do, period.
George P. was another one. George P. Wilbur. I think Harris Strode, what was her name? Marianne Hagen. She went on a couple interviews talking about the same thing, how considerate he was when he was basically supposed to strangle her to death. That's always cool to hear.
Mr. Miyazzi is asking something. I wonder if it's going to what I was thinking about doing something I was going to talk to you about earlier, Chris. He says, I was thinking, Scott, you should do a tutorial on how you personally paint masks, because you do a good job, and it would be, Mr. Miyazzi, I've got an idea about this. I think that would be different than any other video that I ever did before. Now I've been using the word transparency a lot here lately on this YouTube channel. And the reason why I use that is because I don't ever want to bullshit you guys, because it's just stupid. I mean, why? Basically, we all know if you constantly bullshit yourself, then eventually you're not going to know what the truth is. And I'm not here about a life lesson. But the thing of it is, yes, Mr. Christopher Webb, he won that mask fair and square. Okay. And I know you guys aren't even debating that. He really did. That mask was welcome to anyone that participated in that contest. And the reason why I'm bringing that up Christopher Webb doesn't live that terribly far from me. So I don't want you to think there was some favoritism. There's no way I could have jinxed that. So here's what I'm thinking about doing in the future. And of course, this is naturally up to Chris as well. And I haven't even said this to him yet because he's a very, very busy man. You know, he's got his responsibilities at work. He's got, you know, if you've got a job where it's very taskful, then you know what I'm talking about.
They're all in the air.
But he's got a lot of responsibilities as a man. You know, he's got a family to take care of, and he's very, very lucky to be where he's at. And I've talked to him before about wanting to help him do a mask. And what I'm thinking with what your question is right there, I think this would be a fun tutorial where one of these times when he has some free time, which is, you know, hard with his job and if his family can allow it, I would love to do a tutorial video where I'm helping him work on a mask. I mean, I could do one and I could be there right there beside him. So not only would it be a tutorial for you guys, but I'm helping him out as well. Now, the reality of this for Chris, we just can't do this in one day. Editing will make it look like it's done in all one day. So this is totally up to Chris. And I don't want to put him in the corner since I've never said this before, but I think it would be not only a fun video for you guys, but it would be hopefully fun for Chris because he'd be like, cool, I did it myself, because I know he's been kind of wanting to do this himself. But
I have. We could put them side by side at the end and everybody could laugh.
No, the thing of it is, that's the last thing we want to do, because I've noticed that in the past when I've done tutorial videos where I've done masks, and other people would send me, not everyone, but some of them are like, they're like giving up because they're getting frustrated, you know, and I get that. I've been there. Trust me. I have done so many of them before. It's like, oh my God, this looks like looks like a painting I did back when I was in kindergarten.
It'll look like you did it with crayons. If I'm
it's trying different methods, trying different paints. And that's the thing it is, I think about with these masks when it comes to latex, as long as you're using, there's different types of paints that you could use. In other words, as long as it's flexible and as long as it's really latex, really. But there's different methods that you can use. And what I would recommend to anybody that's watching this damn video right now, if you want to at least do this for yourself, I recommend saying goodbye to, how can I put this? Still hold on to those brushes, but don't make the brush your dominant tool for painting these masks. You know, invest in yourself into an airbrush. They're not that expensive. I mean, hell, we all have access to, you know, Amazons, the eBays. I know in different parts of the world. You go to here in the United States, we obviously have Harbor Freight. If you have a Harbor Freight in your neighborhood, or even something like that, I mean, do what I do. Do some research. You know, you do your due diligence. Get on the web and start looking up, you know, little air compressors. I mean, the one I use, somebody's asked me twice now, what's your airbrush or air compressor called? Hell, I don't remember, because you see the same model everywhere. And you could buy a basic air compressor with a cheap airbrush kit a lot cheaper than you can when you go buy a mask from an independent artist. So I recommend, if you guys want to do this for fun, for more than just one mask, think about getting yourself an air compressor, a small air compressor. Some of them, like I mentioned, Harbor Freight, they're less than $100. Don't throw away those brushes. Still hold on to them. But airbrushing, it's a lot easier than what you think, and you're going to be so much happier with the results if you start messing around with airbrush. And then, by the way, and then I'll let Chris talk, because I have people asking me all the time, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? I know YouTube's not the answer for everything, but you could easily do some research on YouTube on even the basics on how to airbrush. And that doesn't mean airbrush on one of these. Get a piece of paper and learn how to use that tool, and you'll learn how to use it in no time. So that would be my strongest recommendation. And I'm saying this live right now because I get it asked a lot. Seriously think about investing into a air compressor and an airbrush if you want to do this more often down the road.
So in regards to that, I guess my question, what are you thinking as far as that would go if we were to do that? Like YouTube, like edited all at one, or like a Zoom meeting like this where people could actively participate with it?
We can think about it even more. Now, in all reality, for me, with you, it'd be easier if I just get a camera out there and start recording and then go from there. Because that way I could focus more, so can you, on your mask.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And then I can edit it later. Now, a live thing, yeah, I get it. That's great for everyone else. But the reality of it is, thinking I would rather just edit it and show it later. And I try to make sure that the edits with what we're doing doesn't look too fake when it comes to, in other words, I'm trying my best not to make it to where you don't miss out on any information. But at the same time, I got to edit some of it, because if I put it all together for the time it would take,
That'd be
one long ass video. So, Chris, seriously, yeah, you don't have to do it tomorrow. But I know you've talked
about it, or what? You know,
do what? I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
I didn't know if you wanted to Bob Ross, you know, happy little trees everywhere. Or
We could do that. Why not put happy trees on my mask? I think I put everybody to sleep. Speaking of Bob Ross, Pete finally got his lift. Mr. Meowsy, he's over. I think you have Scotland. He's got to be asleep by now. Yeah. Wait a minute. Okay, we do have an OM. So you need, you have to have patience. But here's the thing. Let me make sure I'm reading everything. A lot of patient people do not have patience. You'd be surprised how quick you can learn patience when it comes to dealing with these masks. The reason why I'm saying it, the more you do it yourself, the easier this patience, because the reality of it is, if you start doing just like one part, like my when I consider the painting process, the base coat's pretty easy, because you're not really, you're wanting to create a blank piece of slate, more or less, with the right paints. When I say tell people to wait a couple days, I don't know if I got time for that. Your results, you're going to be a lot happier, because if you don't let that paint settle into the latex really good, from my experience, then when you start working on other steps, next thing you know, you're going to start removing some of that base paint. And you're like, oh shit. Then you got to start all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, that's when you want to pull out whatever hair you have out of your head. And once you do more of these, whether you're doing it for fun or whether you start, oh my God, I think I'm getting good at this. Maybe I should, if people want to buy them from you, before you know it, the patients are going to become natural for you. You know what I mean? You're not going to think about, oh God, I just want to start, because sometimes you get so busy on a certain task, you'll be glad when you're like, okay, I'm fine with that. I'm tired. I need to rest. I need to get up off my feet. I'm starving. I need to go to work tomorrow. There's all sorts of things that can fall in line here. So yeah, it's like riding a bicycle. We all had to learn as soon as we started getting it. Okay, I get it now. That's the same thing when it comes to the patience on these guys. Trust me, this is just from my personal experience, because I know what it's like. I can't wait to start working on these at times, but there's plenty of times like, okay, I got to walk away. You got that gut instinct, that clock, that internal clock that says, I got to stop.
Yeah, because I'll push it to the point where I'll fixate on a small portion of the mask. And I mean, if it's not exactly the way I want it, I'll probably blank slate it, all the way back to one. Like, let me start over here.
And Chris and Mr. Meowsy, or anyone else that's interested, you will learn more from your own little things that you just described there, because you'll be like, should I walk away now, or should I look at it tomorrow with a fresh set of eyes? And I'm telling you, I could tell you this is how to do it, but you yourself, from your own experiences, will tell you, what's best. I mean, you may get it done quicker than I could. But if you guys can understand, relate to a painting on the painting, not this painting, but a painting. And I did the same thing when I used to draw all the time. I would look at it from a distance. You look at it from different angles. I do it with these guys all the time. I have done it in the past with other customers. I'll do, once I've got to the point where I'm confident enough, and I've done, I think, some videos here before. I'll get this phone and I'll do a video of it, and I'll take and look at, because these things always look different from your phone if you haven't done it yourself yet. And I'll go out, look outside. I just want to look at it from different lights. And you'll drive yourself nuts with it too, because this damn mask from the H1 to 2022, they look different all the damn time underneath different lights. I don't need to tell you guys that, you know that. They look even more attractive the more beer you drink too.
This is very true.
I've got some other projects that I want to do down the road when I'm ready to do it. And I can't, it's another DIY that I'm going to do initially for my son at first. But right now I've never done it before, and I've got it up here. And if it goes the way I hope it does, I have a feeling I'm going to get people like, ooh, I want one. Can you make me one? I'm going to tell you right now, it has to do with Freddy Krueger, believe it or not. And if I do it, it's not going to be cheap. I can tell you that right now with shipping alone. That's all I'm sharing right now, but I can't wait to do it. Hell, I may tell you this right now, and when I start to do it, and that's what I'm going to share it on the video too. It's kind of be like when I first made a bust, and it was actually it was a 75K, and you know what, the hell with it. I'm going to tell you guys now, it's not a big deal. But then again, you'd be like, ooh, I'll write this down and license it. He'll never do it. Sephiroth's watching. Oops. I want to make another bust where Freddy Krueger's coming out of the wall. That's all I'm saying. And it's not going to be, think of a deer head. Somebody hunts a lot. You got your trophy room, right? Well, there you go. Freddy Krueger coming out of the wall.
I'm talking upper half, torso.
Yeah, because let's face it, Freddy's feet. It's gonna have to have some character to it. But I'm gonna try my best to do it on video. And I'm probably gonna stumble and fall out because I've never done this. Because let's face it, doing a bust is so much easier because it's like basically, let's say this is a bust, right? Put some coveralls on it, put a mask, voila, it's done. This thing's going to be coming out of the wall.
Now, what are you thinking as far as the mask for the Freddy?
I'm going to be honest with you. It'll be a Tots mask.
You going to redo it?
I am not, this is all due respect to the fans of the Nightmare on Elm Street community. And I'm not trying to diss it at all. Hell, Robert Englund and I share the same birthday, for Pete's sake. June 6th. Love the guy. Wish he did some more, his voice. I just like listen to him talk all day.
Be belated.
Robert, let's see. I would just get to be honest with you, I'm sure there's some independent artists that make amazing Freddy Krueger mask, and I would imagine they would be very expensive. But I'm seeing the Tots and I'm pretty impressed. And I might basically kind of weather them myself a little bit, just to maybe highlight the colors a little bit more. But I've actually seen that Tots sells the sweatshirt, because in all reality, what are the odds of you finding a red and green striped sweatshirt at a Dollar General, that would be a challenge.
Thrift store would be your best bet.
Yeah. So I say, go ahead and get yourself, if Tots has the sweatshirts, what you could do is if it looks too pretty, then make it grungy yourself. That's easy. That's super easy, believe it or not. So yeah, get one of their sweaters, make it a little dirty, a little fringy. The bust, well, you'll see how I'll do that, because that's going to involve with me cutting it just right. And the gloves, I'll go ahead and do because I'm not going to go out and buy a pair of gloves from an independent artist. No disrespect. I'm just trying to do it as affordable as I can because there's a chance this might be expensive.
Everything.
And let's face it, the reality of it is, if you are a huge Nightmare on Elm Street fan, and if you want to do something like this, being inspired from that DIY, you may already have yourself a glove, that's just that you spend a lot of money on it, But then again, after I talk about this enough, I'd probably do it and it'll look stupid as hell. But I just want to do something a little different because I'm always Meyer stuff. And people ask me about, Jason, Friday the 13th. And it's like, I have nothing against it. I just don't have a desire to jump right into that, the Jason stuff. But I always had the hugest respect for it. But Freddie, I thought, you know what, this might be a little bit more of a challenge. And I know my son likes Freddy Krueger, and Renee, she's a big fan of Freddy Krueger. So I'm like, because there's two people that are special in my life, I want to do something for them and for all the other Freddy Krueger fans out there. So, why not try something different? And Robert England, do something to celebrate our birthday.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool.
Oh God, I think they're asleep. Yeah, they're asleep. Oh my God, we've been on here for 2 hours right now.
That's a lot of time there.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, guys, that we missed you earlier. I'm sorry that you missed this unboxing right there of this KC. I mean, oh God, you should have seen it. A mouse, it jumped out of the box and everything. These guys by now, they probably think he is so full of shit. Well, Chris, I know you got a big thing tomorrow with your family. Well, I shouldn't say congratulations. So happy Father's Day to you.
Hey, same to you.
If anybody else that's still I think it's because Pete, he obviously got his lift. I think Renee, she's probably asleep. Mr. Meowsy, he's still hanging in there. But hell, he's coming all the way from Scotland right there. So that's kudos to him right there.
Impressive. It's 2:15 there.
2:50. Yeah, it's 9:17 here in the PM. So yeah, wow. He's hanging tough with us. That's wow. Thank you so much for watching. Seriously, man. You could be sleeping or watching something, as I always say, a little bit more entertaining and all that. But now that Chris is here, I could see why. But yeah, we got Father's. Well, I call it a Hallmark holiday. But if your family does something, nice for you, that's always pretty cool. It's always used to be a joke in the past that dads get ties from their kids for Father's Day. So, well, but is there anything else that you got on mind, Chris? Because I know we probably should go ahead and he's fading. Well, buddy, Mr. Meowsy, why don't you get some sleep, man? Because we're actually going to consider cutting, off here soon because we've been on here for 2 hours right now, and I've rambled on way too much as it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really, except for I'm looking at that mask and it's growing on me over there.
Which mask?
Yours, the 2018 you pulled up.
Oh, it's funny because I'm looking at you, and when you pointed, I'm like, huh?
I'm backwards.
Yep. Yeah, I tell you, I had it's just I don't know if I could ever do another one like that. I mean, it was I kind of overdid it. Like I said, this was my first 2018.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, oh yeah, now I remember some things that I did to it. It doesn't feel as natural. This is a good example, by the way. People else going to pay use. There's some paint on here or I think there's a sealer on here that's kind of interfered with the natural stretch because it's kind of stiff. Doesn't feel like your other, but I don't care. Like I said, it was like became a happy little accident, and it's got its own unique character. And in all honesty, I can't even remember. I mean, it feels like cobwebs, this material that I used. Would I do it for another customer? Probably not, because be like, what the hell? But from a distance, it's got some, I mean, I don't know how this camera's going to capture it. it looks purple, and I purposely put that white paint on. It almost looks like it's got gray purple hair.
Yep.
That's the same stuff I put on this Van Halen thing that I did. But from afar, it's just got some character to it. So
Yep. Pretty
I
cool.
don't know. There's just, but speaking of the whole tutorial thing, let's see. Oh, he said, Mr. Meowsy said, I need to buy a Father's Day card. You better hurry up. Chris, if there was a mask that you wanted to try to do, if you wanted to work on, in this case, having somebody there to help you out, what mask would it be? I mean, I would recommend obviously a TOTS,
Yeah, right.
What mask would it be?
I mean, if I had to be honest, I'd say I'm covered on the H1s.
Yeah.
Probably a 6 or a 5.
Oh, wow. Yeah. A 5 I've never done before. 6 I've never done before, but the thing of it is, it doesn't matter. There are certain basics when it comes to these and the kills. Oh God. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how bad that would be to get the paint off of the 6.
It's not that. Basically, if it gets to the point where this is what you would do. With that H6, that Touch H6,
right?
Get you some lacquer thinner and just clean it. Don't try to, trying to rip the latex itself. Just kind of clean it with a little bit of elbow grease. And if it's not coming off, no big deal. Because at that point, you're going to go ahead and put a base coat over that and it'll be just fine. The attention to detail on that is not like the attention to detail on these 2018s or the kills.
Okay.
So as we all know, there is a lot of attention. The thing of it is, you could still leave the paint on those masks as well. But there's a coating that TOTS puts on. In fact, that's probably something I should show a lot of people. A really simple tutorial.
Stripping.
When it comes to, when you get a kills mask, get some lacquer thinner and when you start taking that coating off, it's automatically going to look better than what it did. And you might say, you know what, I'm happy with it now.
Because it's pretty good sculpt, right? I mean,
oh yeah. It's amazing how even you take this 2018 sculpt, as we all know, when it first comes in, Mr. Meowsy, you said 78 Ghost. I don't know if you're referring to this is actually this is 2018. This is my first 2018 that I was working on, and I was kind of experimenting with it a little bit, and it ended up kind of, especially with the hair, it looks like a 2018, but I finally said, you know what, I'm gonna leave it alone. I like it as it is. It's got kind of its own little unique character.
Third one down on the right.
Was he talking to you? I'm sorry.
78 Ghost is on the top there.
Oh, I'm bad. My bad.
That's the top one. Is he talking about this one?
Let's see, middle column. See, what's the third one down? Okay, right here. Right by your knee.
This one?
Yeah, I think that's what he's referring to.
This is the JF75.
Oh, you got to show him Jimmy Falco's too. Yeah. Show him Jimmy Falco's if you can. If you don't mind, that is, of course.
Yeah. This one's number 0, I think. No, it's number 1. That's Chris's and Nick's little side project collaboration thing.
Are they starting to get along better now after this?
Yeah, they had a
I mean, I know they had a headbutting situation, but
they had a Zoom meeting where they kind of figured it all out,
So I mean, as long as they're getting along good, that's all that matters. because those two are so, they've got a history of more positive than bad.
I
I'd rather see those two get along great. So
Falcons.
they need to rekindle their friendship, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, Falco's is really extra grungy.
Yeah, I'm supposed to make this Deluxe H2 extra grungy. Yeah, Mr. Meowsy, if you could see that in person, it's you know how it is. I think we all know these masks in person. Just in other words, our cameras and our lighting just can't capture how amazing our masks look in person. And I could promise you this, that thing right there is just, it's incredible.
That 78 screams to me.
That's another thing I love about these masks. Everybody seems to have one that just, gets them. I'm gonna flat out say it, gets them hard. You know what I mean? And that's what I love about this. And nobody tends to like disagree with it. Like I get it. You understand why a particular one just does it for you. And that's what's so awesome about this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, really, as soon as I see, even in pictures, like as soon as I see something and it automatically catches my attention, like I have to have it,
I mean,
and you get it in person and you're just blown away by it.
I'm gonna go get it real quick while you're showing him this stuff. It's still one of my personal favorites.
I assume this is the one you're talking about, Mr. Mousy. I think the camera keeps cutting off. Sorry about that. I think it only comes on when I'm talking.
Oh, this is my cover. And it just doesn't, this camera is not justifying it. It's just not. There's just something about the sculpt on it. Like I said, the light. Let's put it this way. I've done videos in the past where I've worn it. In fact, I have my one t-shirt that I've made. I got a photo that I'm so proud of where I'm wearing this mask, but the t-shirt that I made says my other mask is not government mandate. And that's just me wearing this mask. And like I said, this right now, well, like I have it in my bedroom in my little glass shelf. And if I sit and stare at it, there's just something about it. To me, it just pops out. Yeah. But right now, it just, as I look at it through YouTube, I'm like, no, it's not showing it off, right?
It's that whole getting the perfect lighting thing.
I'm telling you right now, if you guys were staring, if you were holding it right now, you'd be like, okay, I see what he's saying. Because right now it's just not justifying it. If I get a little bit closer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when I was much thinner than I am now, when I first put this on, I was like, oh yeah. When I was about 100 pounds lighter than I am now, this mask fit me. This was the mask. I was like, this is what I wanted when I was a kid. You know what I mean?
Right.
And of course I've got my 75K out, which is kind of behind the camera right now in my glass case. I won't ever wear that one again. Actually it's that's 75. It's half. That's technically this t-shirt. Was this half of it's that and half of it's me. But yeah, there's something about the sculpt. I look past the paint and I'm like, damn, love that, man. This mask. Did I break it? No, I didn't. Phone. Hey, this bar is actually starting to look like a bar right now. Let's see. You know what? Now that I think about it, the one on the very top, on the middle row, which one? And that's Morgan's, right? Well, yeah, he said 8 of them are. You don't have to take it out.
That one's my
We're putting Chris to work here. He said closest to the closet scene, maybe. I'm catching up to your comments there. Ooh, now that yeah.
That's the Ghost 78.
Yeah. Wait a minute, Mr. Meowsy even questioned that one, or did we already settle that? I'm sorry. Gotta remember, I'm getting older, guys. I'm like 3 years away from being able to collect social. Not 3. What is this? God, I wish. I'm 13 years away from collecting Social Security.
Oh man,
Jesus. No, if I was smart, I wouldn't do it at 65. No, shut up, Scott. That's a stupid subject to bring up. that one's kind of calling me. But then again, all of you got there are fucking awesome, though. Yeah, Chris he's got a sweet ass. Now, okay, Mr. Meowsy, since you're here with us right now, we're keeping you up. Now, Chris, he's got a busy, you know, he just doesn't have time, but he enjoys doing this, as we all know. Wouldn't you agree? Because he has a YouTube channel. It's very small. But wouldn't you agree that just from his collection alone, that whenever he had time to talk about, you know, Halloween stuff, just from his collection alone, that would be intriguing to watch. I mean, what do you think? Would you watch more videos if Chris had time to do it? So obviously he's got a collection that's, you know, left of his TV right there.
Yeah, those are all nags over there.
You should take that KC 4300 and do something different. Everybody shows the front of the mask, but when you put that in the cabinet, show the back of it.
Dude, I mean, come on now.
Hey, Mr. Bat, he agrees. I'm gonna try to help Chris out when because I'm gonna respect the fact that you know, he's busy. His job requires him to be away from home quite a bit. So you know, whenever he's got time, I'll try to help give him some ideas with what he could do. And let's put it this way, you know, after Halloween comes out, I'll try to encourage him to do you know, his thoughts on what he thought of the film after it. He's probably sitting there thinking, well, shit, that's easy. Well, of course, but do it right there with all those masks behind you.
Right. It'll probably have a couple more detox by then.
Yeah, because like he says, Mr. Meowsy says, I love seeing people's collection. And that's true. A lot of people do.
I'm the same way.
And I'm going to try to encourage him to like take his phone one of these days, or, you know, and just like go over each one and describe who the artist is. And sorry, I think I burped again. And go over, you know, just a little history. You know, and then people, you don't have to even, I think that video right there, he would do well on alone. I mean, he's not, obviously, Chris, I know I'm speaking for you. He's not looking to make a career out of this, but you know, if you have fun doing it, then it's like, oh my God, I already see 3 videos right now that you could have so much fun with right now.
Yeah, no, it's the community thing for me. I just like meeting cool people and, you know, hanging out. That's really all I'm looking for.
And oh yeah, because that's the beauty of it. Because obviously, like Mr. Meowsy here is, you know, on the other side of the pond. And you know, he could tell you some things maybe that he has seen that you're like, oh yeah, I wanted to check this out, you know,
or
whatever.
You know, want to get in one time, I'd like to see his as well.
Yeah, really. But then again, we got to figure out a way, because he really wanted to win. Why am I pointing my arrow over your mask? No one can see that. You know, I'm hoping to get, I'm not ashamed of that. I actually know that guy looks better in person. But I'm hoping that as each one I do, especially if I can start pulling my own, because I want to get better at them each time. I don't want to be better than anybody else. I want to be better. In other words, I want to, each mask that I do, I want to improve from each one. But yeah, when I see people out there that like, man, I want to do better than that other person, that's just stupid. You're fighting an uphill battle, and that's just, why do you want to be better than someone else?
Yeah,
be motivated by them.
To your point earlier, I mean, it's all the same white mask. Like, what makes the difference is really you putting your mark on it. So, to where someone would be like, man, that's Scott's mask. Someone would recognize it. The really,
Yeah.
I mean, I can point out Chris's mask almost all the time. I see him all the time.
I can honestly say, you know what, you want to hear something funny, guys? You know, the one thing that was actually really challenging for me, believe it or not, when it comes to doing these white masks, from like at one point till now, it's not a big deal, is really painting some certain shadowing around the eyebrows and the eyes. Because to me, I think if you do too much, it looks like Michael's got painted eyelashes on. And then there's that shadowing around the nose. That is actually challenging to do. But you could always cover, kind of like you start all over again. Like you see, like every Myers mask that you have, there's a little bit of a darkness between the eye cutouts and the latex around the nose where the brow's at.
Oh yeah, every single one.
Yeah, that used to be challenging, but I figured out how to do it. It's actually pretty damn easy now. But yeah, if you don't do it right, it looks stupid. People always say, if you just, yeah, I've seen eye cutouts that look like Cookie Monster cutouts and all that, but it's just how you paint it. And in all honesty, the cheekbones, I mean, I just weather them, but I don't try to overemphasize the cheekbones. That's just weathering right there. Because if you try to paint it,
I like your take on the eyebrows as well. I mean, they're not pronounced. They're just kind
yeah,
of, they keep with the whole white mask idea, you know?
I try to put a little bit of it, but each one I do is going to be a little different. In the sideburns, I try to make it realistic.
Mhm.
You know, I try to put hair there and a little bit of hair where the sideburn was. But the thing of it is, they eventually falls off anyways. But I don't know. Like I said, I was experimenting with that. One of these days, I'll stop experimenting and just go with the flow.
You'll have your formula down by then.
Yeah, but that hair, oh my God, it took me forever to get some decent hair for those things. And the more I've done some photo research, I'll tell you what, the original, obviously, Dom Post hair that was on this, that seems pretty damn close to it because it's not perfect at all. That wool that's on it, it's thick, but it's not like you could run a comb through it. You know what I mean?
Yep. It's very full.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
quite a bit on there.
I do that purposely. That way, you can, because if you think about it, if you look at some of the photos from the mask itself, it's thick. And it's been through where there's been a skirt on it. It's been through production as that, not to mention you think about there's times where Nick is holding the mask by the hair itself.
Sure.
And what's the one thing that drives us nuts from some of these masks? The hair falling off.
It's very
And
true.
and the thing of it is you could style that hair very easily with water. No hairspray. To where you could take some water, basically kind of mush it down and make it thin again. And the beauty of it is if you wanted to remove some of it, just kind of do this sort of, well, I'm like on the microphone, just kind of do this sort of thing with it. Because
Cool.
I've noticed that even from, and I'm not complaining, like I've had some nag masks and I actually appreciate it. There's been times I've received some hair or masks where the hair was kind of coming off, but that you can't help it. It's just because it's wool with glue, it's not like a real flesh with hair on it.
Sure.
So yeah, I don't worry about it because it's not like I go out wearing these masks all the damn time.
I don't. I've worn one. They all stay in the case. I don't do none of it.
So Mr. Meowsy, when you see people being passionate about this stuff, it is. It's infectious and then it doesn't look forced. But yeah, one of these days, I can't wait till I actually am more confident with an H2 look on a more like an H1 mask. You know what I mean? Because obviously, You don't have to begin to think. And if you're still here, Mr. Meows, you're not asleep. Chris, I'm gonna ask you this, and I could be so wrong.
Right.
Of course, we all know what we've been told throughout history. Deborah Hill had that mask underneath her bed, cigarette smoke, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
But we also know here's another fact. The latex, obviously, Dawn Post was like the first production company that make Halloween masks to use latex, from what we've been told. We also know that the latex was cheaper than even what, let's say, to give credit where credit it deserves. I know this is going to sound weird. Tott's latex is obviously better than what Dawn Post had, because this is just a time factor. Okay. This is not about, good or bad or whatever, but Dawn Post had their latex was much thinner because that's why their masks were rotting, Yeah, of course, if you're out wearing it all the time in the sun and the sweat, yeah, they're going to go away pretty quick. But I'm kind of wondering, by the time Dick Warlock, because you always say, well, his face is shaped differently than Nick's.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Nick's face is long. You've met him in person. I've met him in person. He's got, even with his age, you could tell his face is long. I kind of wonder if that mask, because Nick was wearing it. Obviously, we had Tommy Lee Wallace wearing a mask. We had who also wearing a mask. I just don't like him.
No. Angel face. Which one are you talking about?
I'm just wondering if that mask, by any chance, because latex is a natural, it's dirt, it's a plant more or less. I wonder if it shrunk a little bit.
I would not be surprised.
Because it seems to me that the H2, it looks like it's a little bit smaller.
I mean, isn't there a hydration issue with latex? I mean, if it gets dehydrated, it starts. That's kind of where the hero's at right now, right?
Exactly. Yes. Because there's actually one thing you want. Mr. Mio, as he puts Tony down. Bingo.
There you go.
Yeah, that's one thing you really want to avoid with latex is water. And especially when it comes to rehauling, when it comes to paint, even with the latex, you don't want to put too much. Even though water, we need it to survive, but when it comes to latex, you don't want to put too much. That's one of the reasons why it's recommended, like if you're wearing a mask, to wipe the insides out, because, well, yeah, that has a lot to do with the grease, the natural grease from your skin and all that too. But you don't want water sitting around that latex because it'll dry rot it and kind of naturally. I mean, I'm not a rocket science. You don't need a rocket science, but yeah, it kind of shrinks it a little bit.
Yeah.
And excuse me.
I mean, not only that, but how the mask was taken off, how they were holding it behind the scenes photos, like you could tell that thing was. I mean, I don't know how many how many were there?
Three.
Yeah.
So
I mean, do we even know what number we still have access to the hero?
Yeah, like Mr. Miyazaki says, it really does look so different from the first movie. But yeah, you're right. It does.
Because essentially, didn't Dick Warlock just walk into Deborah Hill's office and be like, "Hey, that's the mask. Can I wear it?"
Yeah, he loves sharing that story. Obviously, I think we all love hearing him telling it too. And from what I gather, and I haven't heard much of it, Nick Castle, obviously, he held on to the mask, but then because they didn't know or didn't even think about the fact that they were going to make another Halloween, Michael Myers, that is.
Right.
And Nick actually did keep it. Deborah asked for it back, from what we're being told. Because I know somebody asked him, do you still have the original one? And that's how Nick tells the story. And then Mr. Miyazaki says maybe it wasn't stuffed properly between. Well, I thought about that too. There's one thing that I've talked about it with others, and I think I've mentioned it here before. As we all know, like with Nick, and of course with Tommy even brought it up. I heard recently that and you can tell Tommy and Nick kind of their figure. They almost had kind of like an identical figure, even with their face as well.
Sure.
And then we go with Dick Warlock, the one thing I want to bring up right now, obviously, granted, we only had it just a short scene, a very short scene, when there's time where the blood has to come down the masks. We all know, we're wise enough with even not having to see behind the scenes. There's obviously that mask was stuffed then to where they had to put tubes inside. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So they could have the blood drip down. Because it seems like everybody talks about, or I should say everybody, but people talk about like they'll see a picture of where the mask is stretched. And I think that image is very obviously they have. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I have no clue, but I'm just wondering when that images that we see, was that times where he had the tubes in, going around his head, was the mask stretched thin? Do I make any sense here?
Oh yeah, because sometimes they shoot movies out of sequence. We don't know what sequence.
Very good point. Very good point.
They could have done that first. Who knows?
Yeah.
And probably really crude system that they had set up inside there. They probably really added a whole lot of. Yeah, it's very possible.
Yeah, I just there could be so many simple, because we're all fascinated with this. It's kind of like to give respects to the Back to the Future with the DeLorean. There's so many people. I mean, I love Back to the Future, but there's the diehards, and they nit and pick everything about the DeLorean. You know what I mean? That's kind of like how we nit and pick, not really nit and pick, but we notice all certain details. Just like I'm sitting here talking about, I wondered if that mask shrunk a little bit, because yes, it does. It looks so different. It's, the paint's faded some, the hair, it's not as much there. It looks more like there's cobwebbed in a sense. It's just that there's no doubt about it. The H2 is it's its own beautiful beast. There's no doubt about it. And yet when we do get a chance to see it, that video where it's sitting on that, that dummy before it was really rotting apart, it was so simple looking and kind of boring looking too at the same time. You know what I mean? I'm sure you guys have seen that video I was talking about. It's been here on YouTube for a long time. The guy who had it for the longest time was just kind of like sitting on a prop or whatever. It was sitting on a mannequin, obviously over the head, and the camera. It's a poor video. It's not very long of that, that mask, the Holy Grail. But yeah, I'll tell you what, if I ever do get the H2 down, I think the most challenging thing, and James Carter, how do you do it, is the hair. From dabbling, I'm working on these masks. I've seen photos of his H2. I see it, but at the same time, it seems like it's gonna, for me, it's me going through the learning process of getting that down. I mean, I've worked on them on a couple of these deluxe, but man.
Even Terry's are beautiful.
My favorite, my personal, is the blood tears that I have basically behind this camera. I don't know what it is about it. It sits in my DTOF. It's kind of sitting at a certain angle. I guess I have it stuffed just right. But every time I look at it, I'm like, I don't want to touch it because I like how it looks sitting right there. Yes, Mr. Meowsy, lightning is definitely everything. And the reason why I am a firm believer, my videos, my videos and everybody else's videos, Hollywood, blah, blah, blah. If it wasn't for the way I did certain lighting on the videos I've done in the past, I don't think I could pull off the way some of the masks look. You know what I mean?
Right back, Scott.
Do up. Okay. Well, Mr. Meowsy, he's got to finally get some sleep. It's got to be like really, really. He's not going to get much sleep at all. I am by myself. Everybody's left me. We're at 2 minutes and 49. If anything, Chris and I will be ending it here soon because everybody is done. We didn't have a lot of views on this, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. yes, I know if I was busier here on this YouTube channel, I probably would have more views on it. So not a big deal. And Mr. Miyazi, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it, especially you coming from all the way from over there, Scotland, right? Thank you so much. It was I really do appreciate you being here, not just tonight, but any other time. So I really appreciate you being here, and hopefully you will be here when I am able to do another giveaway like the KC 4300. So thank you. I'm glad that you love this channel. I do appreciate it so much. Get some sleep. You need it. You've had a late night. So now that Chris is away, Mr. Miyazi better be heading to bed. Like I was saying, if you are actually watching this video right now, I do appreciate everybody that has been around from day one or even just recent times. Because as I look at the clock, it's at 2 minutes. When I say 2 hours and 50 minutes that this video is gone. And Chris and I have had a lot of fun. We've invited others to participate in this live stream, but unfortunately it just didn't work out for some. But maybe down the road I could do this again, and I'd like for you guys to join us as well. Let's see, I'll be there, man. Ciao for now. Yes, Mr. Miyazi, please get some sleep. You deserve it. And thank you once again for joining. But yeah, I'm just trying to take the time right now since Chris is away, just to thank you guys, because I kid around a lot, but you know, you got to this day and age. And in case you have missed it, the mask to the right of this chair right now, well, technically to the left of the chair, that was the mask that I did the giveaway contest, the KC 4300, and Chris Webb, he won it. So yeah, just getting everybody kind of caught up who may actually still watch this video. So yeah, Chris, it's just you and I right now. I've noticed that over there on YouTube, it says 2 hours and 51 minutes. Not that that's a big deal.
That's a big one there.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, we're just two girls that like sit around talking about stuff. No, I mean, wait a minute.
I hope I didn't keep you that long.
No, are you kidding? I'm here at home. You're at home. I mean, it's not even 10 o'clock here for us, so that's a good thing. But I know you've got things that you would like to do. I'm not trying to run you off, but I'm trying to be respectful. But before I go, yes, I'd like for you to not necessarily rush into thinking about it, but whenever you've already got yourself an H6, so you're thinking about maybe rehauling that one. Obviously, this would be a weekend project. It would take longer because, you know, you can't do that mask all in a weekend, but we could try to figure out a way to make it all in one weekend for you. And that way, if anything, I'm going to share the basis of how to at least rehaul a mask and all that, and we'll put it on video. Because I think the thing of it is that's beautiful about this, there are a lot of people that love that mask. They were a fan of this Tots Trick or Treat Studios H6 mask because it was actually, it's a decent sculpt.
It's a great sculpt. I did not want to touch this mask just because of that simple fact. I think it's probably the closest.
Now, would you
well done Tots that I could see?
We could do it this way.
Not to say anything bad, but
no. I mean, let's face it. I mean, in all reality,
mask, you know,
when we think of the H1, it came from a mass-produced company, Don Post. Not cutting them, but technically speaking, Don Post was a mask. The Captain Kirk mask is not the most attractive mask, period. It's not. We all know that. Deep down inside, we know that's just kind of a ugh. But look what happened there.
I mean, there's people that swear by Kirk.
And you know, and I
not at all.
Shit, I appreciate the hell out of it big time. But it's just even the people that were responsible for making it, they'll tell you it was kind of rushed. But I think that would be a good idea since you've already got it right there. I could guarantee you're not going to mess it up. But my question is to you right now, would you want to keep the hair that you have on it already, or would you want to add some new hair to it?
I mean, if I'm comparing like probably my favorite, which is the GPW down there. I mean, of course it doesn't come close, but
Yeah,
man, this
pretty good hair, really.
even worse, you know? It's
Yeah.
pretty thick. I don't know.
Well, here's what I could suggest you could do. This would be like one option. What we could do is reuse that hair right there, because it is decent hair. It's not the same hair that you obviously have. In fact, I'll be honest, I don't know the proper material for it.
I have no idea.
But what we could do is remove the front of it, like around the bra, around the ear to the top. That way you do a fresh, but the back of it too. See how long it is in the back, but it's technically supposed to be that way anyways.
I mean, that's decent.
Yeah. We could figure out a way to rig that up that way you could either remove it and then add it back. And then that way people that are watching this video, if they want to try to do it on a budget as well, because really it's not rocket science to add that hair back on. You're just using glue. And there's so many options of glue too. Or people actually use latex sometimes as well.
I mean, I would have no idea, so I would obviously take any opinions you have on it. I would roll with it.
I would well, what I'm gonna do is since my son has an H6 like that, since I can physically look at it, and what I'll do is I'll bring that over and kind of touch it up, because we'll kind of like do an option where we can look like one where it's just weathered a little. And then we can do one where you kind of repaint the whole thing and then go from there. Because the mask itself, believe it or not, will it'll show you, the details on it, because that mask, it's really just like all the other ones. It's actually pretty simple. It's just up to you to,
yeah, I mean, I'm interested.
You might as well, because you've already paid for it. And the reality of it is you're not going to hurt it. You're really not going to hurt it, because we're just basically gonna, like I said, we'll rub it down with some lacquer thinner. See, yeah, especially if there's any coat on it, whether we're removing it, because that will help us get to the attention to detail. There's a good chance that that paint that's on there now, it's on there really, really good. So that won't be a big deal. We'll just paint over it anyways with a base coat and then go from there. And then we'll have to decide the type of paint. I've seen people practically repaint those things almost, white as can be. And then I've seen others that give it more of a grungy, dirty look to it. But that's, up to you. There's no wrong or right way of doing it. There really isn't. And I think that, you look at it this way, if you enjoy doing it, and if it seems simple, then I suggest try it again. And I'll make sure, naturally, of course, if I'm gonna come over to your house, I'll bring my airbrush and all that. We're not gonna use I'm not knocking anybody. You work with what tools you have, but we're not going to use brushes to paint this thing. I mean, if you wanted to do fine little details after you've done the majority of it, that's one thing. But no, you don't want to do that, because you're going to see, the reason why is you see so many of you think of a decent Myers mask, you don't see paint strokes on it, do you?
No, never.
Yeah.
You never achieve like that type of, the shadows, the everything. You never would look.
Yeah, you're trying to get something that looks more natural and all that. And that's what I was trying to get. What I try to do with these is I take a combination of not using aerosol cans. I'm not going to do that on those masks, because obviously that aerosol, if it sticks on latex, it's eventually going to crack and all that. But I try to make it look like, with using the proper type of paint, I try to make it look like I was going with the aerosol approach can. You know what I mean? Of Granted, I forgot to do one thing with it. Sometimes I like putting a little bit of white on the hair to make it look like I have a little bit of white paint on the hair, the front of it. Because I always think it should have that. Because let's face it, we all know, as Tommy Lee described it, you know, when he paints the mask, he's just using a can of hair and there's a little bit of white on it too. So that's not a big deal.
Not sure if that can be.
I mean, I could do it like I could actually fix that in no time, honestly.
Oh
It
no!
was
What do you mean?
like where the hair is.
Yeah.
Put a little bit of white to make it look like some of the spray paint, you know, quote unquote spray paint on the hair.
No, I like it.
And the thing of it is, I tried so hard to cover up the dotted imperfections because they have it on for some reason. I don't know why they're doing that now. They didn't do it before on the Kirks, on the Tots. They have it on both sides on the hair where the sideburns. You'll see dots that are mirrored. And I've tried to fill it in with latex and it just kept on. And I was going to go back and do it again. I'm like, crap, I forgot to do it. So I tried to think of it is when you have it displayed in the case, you don't even notice it. But yeah, they for some reason Tots mirrors the dotted sideburns on there. It's like, why are you guys doing that for? It's almost like you think they were going to glue or sew the sideburns on there.
Really?
You see the little, like the little, yeah. I don't know why they did that. I mean, because they knew that, you know, there was going to be a lot of people that were going to convert those masks. Because they used to not have that on there. Now they do. I don't know why. But one thing I do appreciate on the Kirk, if you look on, yeah, if you look on the lip, on the right side of the lip, it's got that dimple. Not a lot of independent artists do that. And I don't know why. But the 75 Kirk had that.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I mean, if Chris was standing here right now joining us, I'd ask him, you know, Chris, have you done that? Or do you not bother wasting your time with it? Or is there a reason why you do avoid it? You know, what's his take on it? You know what I mean?
Who are you thinking, Chris? Who?
Morgan.
Oh yeah, he's talked about it.
Because I've had,
It's all of his.
It's all his.
Yeah.
Because I've had, obviously, not a shitload, but I've had like 3 other, and I don't see those on there. And I don't understand why.
This is kind of his version of the, this is a real good example of it. I mean, it's the cover mask, but you know, how we were supposed to get from the poster and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got a pretty pronounced one right there.
Yeah, I'd like to. I mean, it's not a big deal. It really isn't. But I just wonder why some don't do it. Maybe it's just a pain in the ass over a little dimple. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I really don't know either. I know he's went on record about it a few times though, talking about it.
I mean, it doesn't seem like it'd be that difficult to add. I know that my 70, let's see. Yeah, this doesn't have it. This cover doesn't have it. Actually, some of the paint's wanting to come off around the eye. It's cracking.
Oh,
I've noticed that for a while though, but I'm not worried about it. This is the one great thing that I am comfortable about more now than ever. If this does, I could fix it myself. But yeah, this doesn't have a dimple there. I don't think Terry has them on his Warlocks. I don't have one of his Fear. What is that? What he calls it? The Fear? His H is like H1 version.
yes.
As I don't have one of those.
Fear the Warlock.
I've got Zach technically has my first Warlock in his bedroom because I got on that bus that I made him. But my 75K, It doesn't have the dimple on it. I mean, I'm not worried about it. But what I was actually going to get at on the other tots. Yeah, there you go. Not a lot easier for you because I don't want to go back here and get Zach's. Does it have the dimple?
Not as pronounced.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? I got an HD Kirk. I love that thing. You see if that thing's got a dimple. I'll be right back. This thing still smells like the day I took it out of the box. No, it doesn't. Does not have it at all. But yeah, it still smells. I do love the hair that Nick uses. One of these days I'll get that down. I've got a person that I work with on Etsy. I'll have to start talking to her more. Because this stuff is just, it's perfect. It's phenomenal hair.
Yeah, that is nice.
But yeah, there's no, it does. It smells exactly the same the day I did the unboxing. I actually had a lot of fun working on this video. So I was trying to get that effect of where it was, oh, what the hell is it called? Where they, you know, whatever, when they stand on that thing and they disappear. Well, I sound like a complete dumbass there, but I have actually, I forget who it was. Somebody had taken one of these HD Kirks and converted it. And, you know, to each its own. But in all honesty, no. I don't know why somebody, I know it doesn't look like the 75s and all. I get that. I do. But seeing one of these in person, what Nick did to it, it has a attention to detail on the pores, on the skin and all that. And when I was much thinner than I am now, this thing, I think it fit a lot like that cover because it's a size 24 and a half. And the funny thing, Zach's mom, she thought that the guy who made, which of course, you know, Nick, she thought that he made this mask to make it look like me.
Oh no.
Yeah. She's like, is that supposed to be you? And I'm like,
Well, I mean, you
no.
could be like, yes. I mean, that's quite a compliment. I look like William Shatner.
I'm the thin William Shatner, where I had hair at one time.
Oh boy.
Yeah. It's
His
amazing.
hair looks nice.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
That's one thing that's, I'm sure you do too. Take them out of the case or the, you know, and they still smell so good.
Yes, absolutely.
This is oh yeah. I screwed up on my castle. I have worn it a few times with the sweat erased the pin. Or it might be on that cover. Yeah, it's a nag. This was a 2017 HD Kirk. And when I hear what people are paying now,
Yeah.
this is cheaper from what I'm hearing what people are paying now. Let's just say
it.
4 with 2 other zeros.
I mean, easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
I'm gonna put this guy back. Ow. I used to be able to slide right back here.
Oh yeah.
Why not? One more. This thing's heavy.
Oh yeah, there you go.
There's actually a mannequin head underneath here. Sometimes it looks just right.
You know, that's one I've always looked at and wanted, and I never pulled the trigger on it.
This is, I'm gonna be honest, this is kind of like my signature one. As weird as that sounds. If I go back to the videos on this channel, and there was one particular shot that I got video wise where I'm doing the unboxing, not that, but the next where I'm wearing it.
Yeah.
And when I'm watching the video later, where I'm purposely bringing my head up slow, and I still framed it. I'm like, oh my God, there it is. There's my thumbnail.
There's the shot.
And no, I didn't. Thank God. This was with 17. Castle 75K special edition. Yeah, from my friend Scott, and then he signed it. It's not a very thick pole. But this is a 25. And to think when I first put this on, I had to wear a sock hat. Today, probably not. But I can honestly say when I do put on, if I did put this on, I look in the mirror, I'd be like, son of a bitch, you. But for me, this was my holy grail at one time. It still is, but
it's a beauty.
It's one of my. I mean, the thing of it is, like when I'm looking at what you got there,
the man knows what he's doing, you know.
Yeah,
it's just that simple.
The beauty of it is I could put this in there next to whatever you got, and with Chris Morgan's and all that, and there's just such a, they all have their, it's kind of like going to one of those car shows where you see all the beautiful classic cars, the muscle cars, and you're like, ooh, ooh, ooh. I mean, that's just it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, each they have their own signature to me. I mean, if I want a Morgan, I mean, I want a Morgan. If I want a nag, I want a nag. I mean, it's depending on what you want right at that time. They got their like little flair to it.
Are you still waiting on a nag JC?
I've been on a 5-year wait. I'm 4 years into it.
I wish you guys didn't have to wait that long. And I'm not. This isn't me. Like, I just no, it's not that. I just wish you didn't have to.
I'm not losing sleep over it, you know.
The only reason why I'm not doing it, and I know this is going to sound kind of like, oh, you can't think that way. I'm 52 years old. If I had to wait 5 years,
I know.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. It doesn't matter how young or how old you are, but the beauty of it is every time I see like say, and I'm trying my best not to put, but it's a subject at hand, nagging and JC. Every time I see one, and if I get a chance to see it in person or whatever, I could appreciate it from afar. I'd love to have one in my collection, but if I never do, I'm not going to worry about it. I've had one in my hands. Obviously, someone won in a raffle.
Sure. That 98 Proto,
it was, especially when my friend David modeled it, and because David, he's got that. He's about my age. He's taller. He's able to wear, this, he could swim in this thing. Because he could wear like a 23.5 mask, and it's, still is kind of loose on him. Kind of weird if you think about it. He's like 6'2", and he, but for some reason, son of a bitch could wear Michael Myers cover, he put coveralls on a mask, and he's like perfect model for it. So when he wore that Proto, and I was like, yeah, I'll go back and watch that video every once in a while. We're doing certain things where he's wearing it at his house, and he's doing certain things, and I'm like, I just look at that mask, I'm like, oh my God, that thing is just gorgeous, just from looking at it certain angles. And I don't remember who won. It was somebody on Instagram, but lucky bastard.
Yeah. I mean, that 98 is like direct lineage. Like, if I could choose any, it would have been a 98 and then a 75K probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because I want to see, I'm trying to get myself away from collecting so much, as odd as that sounds, because I'm trying to focus on making them. But I still wouldn't be surprised. And I know this, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I kind of thought of it in this way too. If I do get good at this, maybe I could make a trade. I don't know. There's always wishful thinking, right? There's nothing wrong with that. So maybe I can make a really good one, and I can go like, hey, somebody that, that lives in Florida right now that kind of does this. Hey, could I do it? It ain't going to happen. But like I said, people allowed to pretend they won the lottery, right?
Not to put anything on it, but, not to talk negatively or anything, but they're always going up for sale. You ever notice that?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of two things. One of the reasons why I think people buy, let's say this was the holy grail, right?
For their gas money.
Gas money's got a lot to do with it, food especially. And I think it's more believable too, this day and age, when people say they just can't, they got to sell it because they maybe they're behind on their mortgage payments or something.
I feel for those people. Like,
yeah,
I totally understand at that point.
Again, the thing of it is, you can usually tell when they're being honest because, like I said, let's just pretend this is a holy grail. This is the one that everybody wants, right?
Yep.
And you would see it sometimes. Let's say this is just all hypothetical. Let's say $1,500. Tell you what, if I sold this and found and seen it later on eBay for $15, I'd be pissed.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's when somebody, I think, is just taking advantage of the situation. But then when I see it for, let's say, okay, I'll be honest, I want to say $350 on this. It's been a while, but it was around $350, $375, something like that. So when I hear people, when I see the high numbers, I know that it's been on eBay or something like that. And I also know that these are costing more than they did 2017, 2018.
Right.
Inflation, that's just how it is. I mean, when I bought a case of Coke earlier, and I couldn't understand it at the grocery store. Why are people buying 12 packs for $6.99 when you buy one for $8.99? But anyways, that's kind of off subject there. But whenever I see these on eBay, and let's say this was on sale for $700, and somebody's telling why they're selling it because they're being a mortgage, something tells me they're being honest.
Yeah.
They didn't want to sell it, but they know that they got to sell it now, and they're not going to be able to get it for $1,200, $1,500, $1,700.
Right.
We know there's buyers out there that will do it. I'm not one of them. I'm just not. I appreciate the fine work out of it, but in all honesty, I'll go ahead and say, you know what, I'll gamble my lifespan, and I'll go ahead and contact, James, and put me on your waiting list, and save some money.
Yeah, he might have forgot about me by now, but I'm not losing no sleep over it. I'm fine with it.
Now, did you put a deposit down on it, or is he just
Nope.
on a waiting list?
No, just a waiting list. He didn't even ask for anything.
It's too bad you didn't know him more personally.
I know.
I don't want to say anything because I don't want to give off like people like, really? No, but the reality of it is, if you do know somebody well enough, it may not take as long, but I better shut up because I don't want to get.
Yeah, let's.
Because right now it's like, what are the odds somebody gonna watch this right now? No, because I could be totally wrong. I mean, maybe last year, let's say it was me that could have said, well, yeah, I'll go ahead and get it done for you. But a year later goes by, Because let's face it, last year we weren't paying $5 in gas. So yeah, times change all the time.
Yeah.
So
Very true.
well,
Did
shoot.
we make it to 3 hours?
Yeah, we did. 3+. I've actually seen people go, well, okay. As we all know, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, Popcorn Planet, where I watch a lot. Those guys have gone on for 4 or 5 hours talking about that shit. And it's like,
If we got a topic, yeah, I can get under that. But man, just bullshit. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I really, I'll be glad when this whole Amber Heard thing fades away, because it's that woman, she just won't stop.
No,
I mean, yeah,
she keeps digging her hole still.
she doesn't. I mean, I think most people that's been following this stuff, where now it's on Peacock and stuff with their interview, and I'm thinking, and I think even Andy Sigmore, Popcorn Planet, he says, wait a minute, do you think they would have interviewed NBC, would have interviewed Bill Cosby or shit, what's his name, Weinstein, after he's been convicted? No, but they sure as hell did it with Amber Heard. Well, granted, this is a huge difference. It was a criminal trial. But
still, let's get her side of things. Like, we haven't heard it all.
it sickens me that how they accuse the jury of, lying. I'm like, really? You're going to accuse the jury of lying about this? That they were they were looking at social media. I don't know.
I don't even remember hearing that one. That's surprising.
Yeah, it was on one of the YouTubers where they found that she more or less, or her and her lawyer said that they. I confused myself because I have the Zoom kind of in the middle on my screen and then the YouTube to the left, and I hear a voice, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's me, I think, moving. Oh well, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get off here so you could do what you got to do.
Yes, sir.
We'll definitely figure out sometime soon, and I'll obviously get in touch with you about preparing more to work on this H6. And as silly as this may sound, I have absolutely no problem with this. Would it be a lot easier if I brought over my equipment over there to help you work on your mouse?
I'd probably go buy one. I mean, they're not too bad, are they? The setup?
Depending on what you're wanting, like, are you talking about like an airbrush or something? Or,
yeah, just
an air compressor,
basic, cheapest, whatever.
You could go into Harbor Freight and get it. You could physically, in other words, go on their website, and then because they usually have little air compressors there.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't recommend you use an air compressor other than for airbrushing. In other words, you probably wouldn't use it to blow up a football or a basketball or anything like that. We could use my airbrush. I mean, you could get an airbrush kit there. That's fine, but they're usually, but we could use mine because we only need one airbrush anyways. Basically kind of plan ahead, I mean, I'm trying to think, a base coat. God, that would be interesting. We could put it. I've never seen an H6 where it has skin tone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can have a base coat of a skin tone on it and then put the white over it if you wanted to. I don't know. Teach its own. But you don't have to have that. But I'm just trying to think ahead on everything that we need. But it's not like because in other words, it would be one weekend of prepping it and then putting a base coat on it let it dry, and then you can come back and tackle it. Even if you don't have time to start working on it the following weekend. You know, if you have to wait another 2 weeks because you're busy with your family, then it's no big deal. It's not going to go bad. It's not going to, you know, like, oh God, I can't, you know, add more paint to it later.
Sure.
But yeah, I think it'd be kind of interesting because we'll make it look as natural as we can, helping you out. And then people, I know they're still going to ask, you know, simple base steps on how to do this, how'd you do that, when it's
Yeah.
clearly right there on the video. And I think it'd be kind of interesting because I think a lot of people still like that mask. And it just goes to show you, well, I like this mask already, but if you could do it with this, then you can do it with the other ones too. But I'll bring over, I'll probably do Zach's too. And we'll do 2 concepts, kind of rehauling the whole one, then maybe just weathering it as well.
Okay.
That way people can get their own. It's kind of like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Here's how you can weather it, and here's how you can kind of rehaul it.
Sure.
So, pretty simple stuff. Because it really is, you're gonna find yourself as you do it. It's not as hard as you think. It really isn't. So alrighty. Well, I will get in touch with you about that. And like I said, look at Harbor Freight.
Very interested in learning that.
Yeah, because you get yourself your own little air compressor. I mean, in other words, if you went to Hobby Lobby and got one of those air compressors, there's like $150 for one of those things, and you can get one much cheaper. And the one I'm using now, I've had for years. So
okay, I will look into that then.
But probably have to go to Hobby Lobby to get some more paint, and then I'll show you, and I'll try to find a way to sneak the camera in on different paints that you can use, because there's this other one that I've been using more for flexible. It's a latex, but I think it's called FX paint, and it's purposely made for this sort of stuff. So it's kind of cool. All righty, Chris. Well, anything else you think of before we finally end this thing?
Nope.
At 3 hours and 26 minutes later.
I'm good, sir. I appreciate the invite and the good conversation.
No problem. Making sure there hasn't been anybody else. No, it's probably a good thing that we didn't have 1,000 people, but
I mean, it would be cool though. At least somebody like in the chat, you know, that would have been cool.
Oh yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. I really think, especially, it really has to do with me being more active on here, and what I want to do. I know I'll be more active down the road.
Gotcha.
So there's no doubt about it. I just have to get there, if you know what I mean. So,
yep.
All righty. Well, get some rest. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll contact you next weekend about the H6 ordeal, because right now you need to spend time with your family this weekend, and I know you got to go back to work wherever it may be next week.
Right.
So,
no, I appreciate that. Until Zach for me, and enjoy your Father's Day.
Yeah, I will. He'll give me a FaceTime call.
That's good. Well, I mean, you won't see him at all?
No, he lives about 35 minutes north of here.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's no big deal. We're used to this. Trust me. We're quite used to this. Like I said, it seems like I end up having him a lot on Mother's Day and vice versa. It's really not a big deal. So, but if I did my calculations right, I'll have him October 14th. It wouldn't matter anyways. I'd pick him up that weekend, because his mom knows, even his stepdad knows that, you know, that's kind of our thing to go to.
We're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, I've got Zach that weekend. So
okay, cool.
The funny thing of it is, I have to keep my eyes open when those tickets go on sale. That's the challenge right there. But it's going to be a while. You know what I mean?
I get an email notification I signed up for on a Fandango.
There's that. Cinemark app, I think, will send me a notification too. But right now, and I promise to shut up after this, their concept of movies and what's coming soon, it's not that far in advance.
Yeah.
It's really not, which is a good thing, because I could just check this and like say if Thor, I let it know, I heart it, like this is a movie I want to see, and like Fandango, it'll notify me. And if you know how it is, they have to have a trailer right there.
Oh yeah.
So I'll be like, no, don't watch it.
Yes.
Kind of a stupid thing to not want to watch a Halloween Ends trailer on a channel that's based around Halloween. I gotta be stubborn and stick to my ways.
That's right. That's right.
All right, man, get some rest and tell your wife thank you for you allowing to be away when she barely gets to see us, so you could talk to all these people.
She's been doing her thing. She's fun.
Say, I had to talk to somebody all the way from Scotland, damn it. So
That's true.
yeah.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Bye.
Bye.